it off. Oh no! Whoops! LinkedIn says you're not you're not approved for LinkedIn Live. That's all right.
Well, technically we're live. It says live on mine.
And we are on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday. Just kidding. It's Sunday, 1:41 a.m. Eastern time, and we are here with who? Grant, tell us who we're here with.
G Money.
G Money. What's G Money? That's a story.
When I go to Which, you get to write your name at the bottom of the sandwich. So I always put G Money, so they have to yell it out to get me my sandwich.
G Money. And who's Mr. At the Red Hype?
At the Red Hype, you can find me. I'm trying to act intentionally old man. Follow me on the Twitter.
First of all,
the Red Hype on the Instagram at the Red Hype.
Dr. Pete, give us your quick introduction, will you?
I am Dr. Pete. There we go. I'm a Liverpool fan, so that's what the "You Never Walk Alone" means. I'm up here in a really cold place called Alaska.
Alaska. We got Nigel from Alaska. He ran away though. But Martin, welcome. Who are you?
I've been asking myself that question my whole life. I'm Martin. I am originally coming from Portland. I'm a little bit stuck in Guadalajara, Mexico right now. And it's just me, some tea, and your neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man.
Nice. All right, let's see. Is everyone?
Who are you, Richard?
What about me? I'm Richard.
Yeah.
That is Troy, New York, upstate New York. It's about almost 2 a.m. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna run this first segment, and I'm gonna actually throw up this banner and actually show the world. We got 4 people watching. Hey guys, weigh in on the comments here. We can't
They're
see.
bots. It's just bots.
It's just bots.
Just bots, just on my profile, right?
NSA, CIA.
Oh,
Every
no,
YouTube
they're
has 4
watching.
viewers. Every YouTube has 4 viewers.
So guys, we're here for Startup Weekend USA, and myself at the Red Hype and G Money. We are your organizers this weekend, along with a wonderful team of amazing organizers and volunteers, facilitators, and mentors. And Martin and Dr. Pete are participants. Is that correct?
That is
I'm
correct.
a mentor.
That was decent.
You're a mentor. Martin's a mentor. Dr. Pete is a
I'm a participant.
participant. We're represented across the board. So real quick, Startup Weekend is a 54-hour event where you build a company with a team that you just met around an idea that someone just pitched. So you essentially experience the first year of a startup crammed into 54 hours, into 3 days. And we took it virtual. We took it online to fight back against COVID-19 in partnership with Techstars as part of the 80 plus countries in this global initiative to fight back against COVID-19. So Saturday night, we're about to have some fun. Tomorrow, you're going to go back to work, submit your presentations, and we will run our final presentations at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Find that at startupweekend.us. So I'm going to go ahead, put up a banner for Saturday night party, take down this graphic. Are we ready?
What are we doing?
Nigel,
Yes.
We're ready.
what are we drinking? Real quick, what are we drinking? It's empty. It's empty. I gotta fill it.
You got
You got
Malibu.
Grant, is that Everclear?
This is
I read it.
full
Yeah,
Everclear.
you never know.
You too,
Yeah.
Michael. Cheers.
Great. Yeah.
Cheers. So
Cheers,
I'm drinking a particular alcoholic beer, and I'm not going to be naming the alcoholic beer, so I'm not self-promoting the company.
Oh, this is just generic grain alcohol. No ad.
No additives.
Just green. Got it.
So that's moonshine.
Straight from the still. I have drank alcohol straight from the still, straight as it's pouring off. We have a great place up in Southwest Michigan called Journeyman's. And when you go on the tour, they take you through the stills.
Nice.
And I thought it was going to be harsh, right? And it was going to just hit. It was
Yeah.
sweet. It was sweet.
All right, G Money. Hey,
I highly
people want
recommend
to see a
Journeyman.
party. Let's stop chatting. Here's our first activity. Here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna run our first segment. Then I'm gonna kick it over to Mr. at the Red Hype for our second segment. And G Money, they're not ready, but we're all entrepreneurs. We're gonna adapt and overcome. Here we go.
1 hour.
1 hour for our first segment. Our first segment is our favorite game. Silicon Valley startups. Are you guys familiar? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, Nigel. Thumbs down, Mr. Red Hype. Thumbs down, everyone else. Dr. Pete, was that a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Oh, was that a? Do you want to play it?
All right, we got.
Do you know it?
I'm gonna take down this banner so you're bigger. There it is. All right, so this game will give you 3 cards. You will get a name of your company. You will get your target user, and you will get your industry. Using those 3 cards, you will come up with your elevator pitch pretty much on the spot. And you're going to pitch it to the rest of us. And I will be your judge. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
So, I got questions, Rich.
Yeah.
Let's start with what qualifies you to be our judge.
What qualifies me to be your judge? It's because I can yoink you off. All right, next.
You also have the cards as well.
But 2 can play that game.
Yeah. I can kick him. Let's do that. All right, are we ready?
Okay.
You can't triple yoink a double yoink.
You can't overrule Mario.
All right, you want to
It bounces off me and
Who's
6
up
to
first? I
you.
need a volunteer.
Yes.
No.
We're picking cards.
All right, Martin, you're up.
Oh,
Hey,
what am I doing?
now you will follow my instructions. And remember, you guys grow at the edge of your comfort zones, right?
Richard the Overlord.
Company name. Martin, give me a type of circus performer.
Bearded lady.
Sorry, one more time.
Bearded lady.
Bearded lady. Got it. Your company name is Bearded Lady Tronics. Type of circus performer, Bearded Lady Tronics. Got that? We're going to put that up on screen real quick. And now, your target user. Woo. People who drop cards, apparently. Teachers with difficult students. Your target user. Teachers with difficult students. All right. One last card. Your industry. Genealogy and ancestry. Are you ready? Go.
Oh, gee. So we at Bearded Lady offer services for shipping off your difficult students to remote areas where they will spend several months learning about how to build a career in the circus industry.
Was that it?
Is that a good pitch?
Was that it?
I think that's my pitch for now.
That's your pitch. Let's give him a hand. All right. Mr. Martin, I've got a card for you. You know, shipping off students is a very interesting proposal, but how do you know you're shipping off the right students? How do you know someone didn't get into your account that manages it all? By the way of phishing. So how do you protect yourself and your employees? How do you train them on phishing and social engineering techniques so they don't fall victim to that?
Well, we have hired the best Nigerian princesses in the world. So they are our trainers.
All right. Just curious, how'd you source them?
Craigslist.
That's it. That's it. Give him a hand. Who's up next? All right, Dr. Pete, you are up. You ready for your company name?
Sure am.
Say stop.
Stop.
Stop. All right.
Stop.
I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't be laughing about this, but I found that funny. Oh no.
Stop. Please, would you, rather, sir?
Hey, Dr. Pete, what is your favorite vegetable?
Tomato.
Tomato is a fruit.
It
What
is.
is your favorite vegetable? Fun fact, peppers are berries. Discuss.
Celery.
Sorry?
Celery.
Yeah, I don't approve of that. That's not a real. You can't have celery as your favorite vegetable, right, guys? Yonked.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. Never had one. All right. Your
Exactly.
company name is Number Celery. Your company name is Number Celery.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. All right. Target user. Base jumpers. The Number Celery is making what for base jumpers? In the what industry? In the packaged food industry. Oh, they went easy on you. This deck went easy on you. Number Celery.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter. I'm here representing Number Celery, and we provide services for base jumpers. Have you heard of this new technology? It is actually celery that you can use and food that you can use, but also construct into the base jumping that you need for safe maneuvering around the hills of Colorado. It's actually food that you can eat, but also food that you can convert over and use as your parachute and use as your landing mechanism. So it's duplicated. It's packaged food that you can put into your parachute for safe landing as a base jumper. But also, if you're peckish after a jump, you've got your dinner to take home. So it's a new type of material that can be used for the parachute, but also something you can eat.
That's very interesting. You sure you just came up with that on the spot?
Yep.
You've been working on that all weekend?
I've been working on it since Wednesday morning.
Since Wednesday morning, disqualified and yoinked. Who's next? Oh, I'm just kidding. Dr. Pete, now tell me, that sounds very interesting, but you've got a British accent, right? Is that correct? Is that British?
Well, I am British. I just don't have an accent. That's me.
I see. So I've got an American accent. We've all got
True.
an American accent. True.
Yeah, I suppose I have a British accent. I have a British English accent.
That's all right. All right.
So the reason I bring that up is somebody at the local coffee shop here when I first moved here was impressed how good my English was.
Didn't you spawn the English?
Then the person stood next to her couldn't stop laughing because that person knew I was from England. But I did state it took me 30 years to perfect it. So anyway, yeah. What's my next card?
I'm just really, really confused because sometimes I don't understand accents. So tell me, how will you use real-time language translation in your marketing?
Well, we actually provide an online service for you to order your materials, and therefore we actually have operators from all over the world being able to translate the word celery into the individual languages. So rather than just being number celery, we are number celery in your own native tongue. So we have even operators from all over the world. We have Native American translations. We have British American translations. All the languages that are spoken in the United States, we have the ability for you to log in and see our services using your own native tongue.
So you've localized it to all the languages.
Yes, and therefore it makes like you feel like you're part of the team and you're part of the number celery.
That makes a lot of sense. So, bless you.
I've got
Bless
COVID.
you. Any more of that, we got to kick you out. Hey.
I know. Sorry.
All good. All good. Hey, that's really interesting. So you got all the languages. Just translate number celery to a different language. Any one for me, will you?
Yeah, it's called number celery. It's in British English.
Got it. All right. Give him a round of applause. All right. Who's up next? Question, rock, paper, scissors. Nigel and G Money. Where we at? Hey, we had Red Hype drop off. Where'd he go?
Where'd Michael go?
Where did Michael go? Where's Waldo? Where's Michael?
I think me and G Money could do rock, paper, scissors and see who gets out.
Can you guys do like a cross diagonal rock, paper, scissors? Like that way? I'm flipped, but like that way. You gotta look up the right way. You gotta get your stuff correct, dude.
All right.
Yeah. Right shoulder.
Whoa.
Nigel's up.
Nigel's up.
Oh my God.
I think he delayed and waited to lose that one, but okay.
No.
It was off the screen. It was already in my face. Read it up.
Right through the box.
All right, let's do this. Go on then, Richard. Where are you? Give me some cards.
All right, let's give you some cards, Nigel. All right. How'd you get in front of me? How'd you get that away?
That wasn't me. I didn't touch the buttons.
All right, company name coming right up. Company name. We are going with the sound a plague of locusts would make.
Sound a plague of locusts would make. I'm guessing the sound. I'm going to give it a descriptive word. I'm going to say horrendous.
Horrendous. That is your company name. Your company name is horrendous.
Horrendous. Okay, got it.
All right, next up, your target user. What are you shaking in there, Martin? Hot sauce into chips.
Like a pro. Look at him go.
What is that? Is that a British thing? You're not British. Where's everyone from? Where are we all located? Nigel.
Anchorage, Alaska, right now. Where am I from, though? I'm from the Queen's Country, the British Isles.
Queen's Country. All right, Martin. Go around in the circle.
Well, I was born in Mexico City, but I grew up in Texas.
You were born where? Sorry?
In Mexico. I was born in Mexico City, and I grew up in Texas most of my life.
Gotcha. Whereabouts in Texas?
Right next to Austin.
Right next to Austin. You got it. I love Austin. I might move down there. I don't know. Went for South by Southwest last year. Had a great time. Might have snuck into a party or two. There's a story, but not while we're live. Dr. Pete, and you are from, sir?
I am originally from the Isles as well. Grew up by the beach, by the coast, so southwest UK, down the bottom. And I now live in Fairbanks, Alaska. I've been here for nearly 15 years. And the small world is Nigel and I did my postdoctoral research at the same university that he did his undergraduate research in King's College London.
Gotcha.
But as you can see, I'm a few years older.
I don't know. In this quarantine beards environment, nobody can really tell anymore. So yeah. So we should really shape before we do these things.
All right. Moving on. G Money, where are you from?
I'm from Indiana, here in the States.
Indiana. If you were to describe it geographically to someone who only knew what the continental United States looked like and not where any of the states were, how would you describe it geographically?
We're by the Great Lakes.
What makes them so great?
Body of fresh water in the world.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, that's literally why they're called the Great Lakes.
That looks like fun fact time. Putting that on the screen.
Boom!
Fun.
So when the glacier was receding, that was the thickest point in the glacier. So it had made the largest divot, right? And so when it receded back in southern Indiana, that's why we have all the limestone. So all of the buildings in DC was made from southern Indiana Bedford limestone, because that's where all the runoff from the glacier settled. And we have a whole bunch of just limestone down in the ground in southern Indiana. And then as they continued back, they just settled there in the Great Lakes. I am curious in apocalypse time if people are going to cluster to the Great Lakes.
It's either that or the Rocky Mountains.
Into all the fresh body. Right. Or the Nile or something. All the fresh bodies of water, I think people cluster to.
Yeah.
Antarctica. We'll go to Antarctica and drink the ice.
We'll all go up to Alaska,
freeze
probably.
You might. Anyone watch? We got 5, 4. Everyone's dropping off. What's going on? We got some viewers. If you guys have a fun fact, put it in the comments. We'll see it on our end. Hey,
we all know. I was about to add another fact on the Lakers or the Lakes. That's the reason why the Los Angeles Lakers are called the Los Angeles Lakers, because they came from Minneapolis.
Oh.
And they were the Minneapolis Lakers, and that's why in Los Angeles they're the LA Lakers, but there's no lakes nearby.
Oh,
so, that's another fun fact.
I like that.
I can't spell words. Do you want to put that up on the screen? I can't spell words. Hey, we gotta move it along. We're dropping off.
Move it along. I just think this is British educating America on America. I love this. I think we can do this again. Great.
Come on, guys. All right. Your company name is the sound a plague of locusts would make. Your target user is Angry Robots.
Oh, okay.
Angry Robots. And moving it along, your industry is piercing.
Piercing. Okay, thanks for that, Richard. That was wonderful. All right.
You're up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nigel. I am the CEO of Horrendous. Horrendous was founded 6 months prior because we saw a major issue in the piercing industry. Piercing for the longest time has been done by tattoo artists and other folks who like to stick holes in other human beings. But we really think there's a huge opportunity to automate this. Imagine if we could occupy not the friendly robots, but the angry robots of the future. The angry robots that decide they want to stick holes in humans. And instead of encouraging them by using weaponry, we want to get them involved in the piercing industry. We think the piercing industry is going to go through a major increase of interest over the next 20 to 30 years as multiple people start seeing more holes being drilled into them through friendly and angry robots. And we want to really serve that market. So I want you guys to embrace this vision with me. An army of angry robots going from door to door with needle-sized devices ready to start making holes in any part of your body you guys could dream of. And I'm talking about any part of your body. No fear of having somebody that you might have working with you nearby in a local store.
I think he overstayed his time. Let's clap him off. Oh, elevator pitch, Nigel. Not stairs to the roof pitch, Nigel. We'll bring it back on.
I'm a little scared with them being angry robots just rather than robots.
We'll take this
because it's a validated customer segment. We know the angry robots are interested. So
yeah, you've been very specific there.
Oh, Martin has a fun fact.
That's rather cool.
Martin.
Wow, that's cool.
Any guesses on what it is? Martin's fun fact. Any guesses on what it might be? Hurry.
From us? We can read it.
Put it up.
Yeah, we can read it.
That's what I say. Are you saying the Brits can't read?
So the Brits take another one. We can guess that one. Yeah.
There it is. All right. So, who's next?
All right, it's my turn.
Is it? Is it really? I'm gonna hit you. Ready? Pow! I went the wrong way. It just loops around. The world's a flat cylindrical object that you can see through, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's edges. There's edges, I'm sure.
Edges.
Edges, edges, edges. G Money, give me a verb.
Loud.
Loud is not a verb. Loud is an adjective. For that,
Ouch.
hey, Dr. Pete, you're a doctor. Give me a verb.
I'm not a doctor of languages.
That's all right. You had to write a long paper or something like that to get your 2-letter, but you missed that period in front of your name. That's all right. Give me a verb.
You're testing how many people know their grammar and what a verb, and noun, and an adjective is.
A verb is
Yes. So a verb is an action. So therefore, I would say running.
running. I'm going to make the executive decision and say yonking. All right. Your company name is Go Yonking.
Is go yonking?
Go.
Yeah.
Yonking. Go yonking. Yonk master. Yonk, yoink, or yonk. Yonk versus yoink is the competition tonight. I use both interchangeably. Your target user is yourself, people who kill plants. Target user is people who kill plants. G Money, that is you. And your industry, you ready for this one? Your favorite, government. Industry is government. Hit it.
Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Go Yonking. I'm Grant Carlisle, your host. Our podcast is all about yonking, and who we're really targeting here at Go Yonking is people who kill plants. This week's episode is all about plant maintenance and basically how it is you can convert your plants to better plants. Thank you to our partners, the government, for all of the work and money you've given us. And what I'd like to start out with today is killing your plants. So don't kill your plants. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, all right. So how do you not kill your plants? And how does that, what if you do? How does that play into your personal branding?
All right. So if you do kill them,
If you do, if you don't, how do you
if you
brand
don't kill your plants, your personal branding goes down. So you have to teach your plants a lesson. And when they grow too big, it's not that you cut them, you have to kill them. So if you don't want your personal branding to diminish and you want your brand to actually grow, make sure you kill your plants.
Kill your plants. Got it. Does anyone have any
Got it.
plants that they've killed recently that they want to show on camera? I'm going to go get 10 seconds. Go.
I've killed my beer.
Good for you, Peter. I was going to say, if we run short, though, I mean, I've got a whole army of angry robots that maybe won't get far in the period in the streets. They can come out and kill some plants for you.
We ended up killing a succulent. I don't know how.
Is that a cactus?
I killed a cactus.
How'd you kill it?
He gave it water.
So, ladies and gentlemen, don't give me plants, please.
Okay. That's a note to self for the future. Don't send a plant to Richard.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Nigel's back, so
Hilariously terrible pitch.
oh, Nigel got yoinked.
I yoinked myself. I wasn't sure if my audio was still working, so I thought I'd get off your stream, Richard.
Yeah, get off my stream. Nigel.
Get off my stream. I was going to go find.
Yeah, he got off my stream. All right. Let's make a. Darcy is here. We're gonna bring Darcy on the stage. Do we have a camera for Darcy? Let's get a thumbs up when you get your camera up, Darcy. I'm gonna bring Nigel back on. I won't be that mean. So
we're removing him from our yard.
Sorry.
Oh, there's Darcy.
There's Darcy.
There we go.
All right, I'm gonna wrap up this first segment though, and say the winner of this segment. It's G Money with your plant.
What? Hang on a second. With the voting.
No. There's no voting. Young.
So tired of that guy. I'm
so sorry about him. There's none of that. Young.
Guys, can you please stop
as the
yourself?
segment owner? It is G Money.
What's
up? You're over there. Let's do it.
Boom.
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 Boom. Let's welcome everyone back
Thanks,
on the
man.
page. And
We've
we got Darcy coming up here. All
we've
right.
with too much Richard and Nigel yonking themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a beaker with hands. I think I got a beaker with hands. Oh no.
Ah. Why am I huge? Pass. All right. I'm going to pass off this segment to our winner, G Money. You're up.
What's up? Welcome to the G Money segment. All right. During this segment, we are going to.
Is this being broadcast somewhere?
Oh, yeah. We're live on 4 different platforms. Enjoy.
Which one?
You can share it, and we can get like double our user base instantly.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Why don't we just share?
Which ones are we on?
We're on Facebook and YouTube, doubled over. I got my personal, and we got Startup Weekend USA.
And I think Richard's friend base really talks to the number of viewers we have right now. With all 2 live viewers we have right now, I think Richard, thank you for sharing on your personal friend base.
Yeah, three.
Richard's mom is watching. Everybody wave to Richard's mom. Hey, Richard's mom.
Look at this. Yoink bot. Oh, Michael Ryan Norton. Yoink botted us.
Sorry, which one on Facebook? Which?
I will send the link in our private chat real quick. G Money, take us away and give us a segment to play with.
What's up? All right, everyone. During this segment, we're going to call this the methods round. So I'm going to give you a goal, and what you're going to do is you're going to tell us about a method you know of that helps you understand the word or area I'm giving you. So I'm going to give you an area like validation, and you're going to come up with and tell us about methods you know about of how to go about doing validation. All right, who is up first? We're going to go round the room backwards. Darcy, you're up first.
I'm
throwing you in the hot seat.
Can you go to somebody else first for a second? Because this is my first time in this, and I want to just see what it looks like on live.
Nigel, my guy, I'm counting
what
on
I'm
you.
putting myself into here too.
Mr. Methods knows the things. So let's start with you, Nigel. You up for it?
How can I say no to you, G Money?
All right, I'm going to give you competitors. So intensity of creative rivalry. Tell us about a method you know about of how to understand the landscape of the marketplace from a competitor's standpoint.
I think I'm actually supposed to seriously answer this, right?
Answer however you want.
I can give you cards and you can pitch it if you want.
So yeah, I mean, I think the active power of cross corporate torture is something that is totally underused. So what you do is you round up all of your closest competitors, you take them into a very dark room, you find some, let's say, some slightly unsavory characters with some unsavory DIY tools. They work together for a little while, and out of that comes some amazing market data that you're able to use for cross-comparative analysis. So I've often been a big fan of finding the bluntest and most relevant instruments to try and gain the greatest market advantage there. The most important thing there is that make sure that you're properly subsidizing your competitive analysis researchers, as we call them, because you never want them to turn back on you. Those guys can get a bit rough and nasty. So that's my answer to your question, G Money.
Ding, 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 ding. I love it. You get 1,000 points. Nigel's 1,000 points in the lead.
Didn't even get on the scoreboard with 1,000 points. No,
you're last. Nigel, you are last on the scoreboard.
All right, we're gonna keep going around the room then. That's gonna be you, Richard. You're up next.
Hit me.
So, Richard, I'm gonna give you a nice soft lob ball here with validation.
No. You don't learn
me some soft ones. Give us a unique method for validation then. So doing a sanity check. Before I start investing money, it's smart to validate my assumptions about market potential once more. Give us a method around validation that we haven't heard before.
All right. So this is my method. You go to a busy street corner with a lot of people walking by. They're not paying attention to you. They're paying attention to their own stuff. And in 5 seconds, if you can grab their attention with your opening pitch, you've got some validation.
We just get $1,000 again because I don't know.
Then you go and you sell them. You get them to open their wallet and you get them to give you their money. Right?
You can do better than that.
Whatever you're selling, your product, your service, your whatever. Grab some random stranger's attention off the street corner in 5 seconds with your opening pitch. They're on their way. Hey, stop, listen, I got this thing for you. It's going to solve your problem, or it's going to make you 1,000,000 times more money. Then you get them to open up their wallet and give them money. Money
I expected more. Come on, man.
I just invalidated out of here. And
money. Can I come in with my version of someone else's?
Yeah, sure do.
No.
Okay.
All right, Richard. I'll give you $250 for that. You're on the board with $250. Yeah, that's like a standard thing.
That's a standard thing.
Hey, Richard, if I sell you 500 points of mine to put you on the board and I give you 750 total, would you buy them for like $20?
Yeah, what's your number?
I mean, would you buy 500? Would you buy 500 points to get higher up on the leaderboard than me for $20?
I mean, I guess, yeah. Is that validation, though?
That's validation. That's an example of validation. Do I get more points?
But you're not on a street corner, so it doesn't really work in Richard's process.
No. He's always on the street corner. That's a Zoom virtual background. He's out on the street.
Yeah, Nigel's always on the street corner.
I don't know what you guys think I'm doing, but I just came here to play, so okay.
Martin, you're up. Your area is roadmap. So map the road ahead. Rome was not built in one day. Rather than doing everything at once, I order my plans and steps towards my goal. Tell us one of your methods to lay out a roadmap.
Sure. So first, I blow about 20% of the state round that I raise on a really nice car to go around the country and hype up my company and tell people how much I value. And then we map out what parties, where we're gonna have our launch parties by, that's how we do our roadmap.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, what type of car there, Dr. Pete says. Martin, what car do you drive in? That's the method, right? The car you drive changes?
Well, obviously, the Tesla truck.
Yeah, he's got one. Beta user.
All right. For that answer, Martin, I will give you $250. You're on the board, tied with Richard.
Uh-oh.
Nigel, you can still barter.
I was looking for something unique around mapping the road, not just a map. Come on. All right. Pete Darcy, you have to beat 250 to not be in last place, and you have to beat 1,000 to beat Mr. Nigel.
To 3 more groups. I'm just sharing to a few more groups real quick. Hold up.
All right, Dr. Pete, you're up.
Okay.
We already did competitor, so I'll throw you this one.
Hang on a second. Viewership just went up 1 point. Darcy got her mother on as well. Hey, Darcy's mom! Yay!
All right, Dr. Pete, your concept is A/B testing. A/B testing. So red pill or blue pill. With an A/B test, one variety of my product or service is presented to Group A and a second to Group B. Then I check for the different results between the two. What's a great method of doing A/B testing? Go.
Okay, so you've heard of the movie The Matrix with the red-blue pill and the green pill. Well, we actually use celebrities to do our testing. So if you join our team and you come with our team, you get to sit with Keanu Reeves and do the red-blue pill. You get the ability to have Morgan Freeman voice over your testing. You have the ability to have Kylie Minogue singing you a song as you walk down the corridor. And if you really are really, really special, you get to meet Boris Johnson. So it's a celebrity-based pill test. So it entices you into the program.
For that answer, Dr. P, I will award you 900 points. You are in second place. Woo!
Close, but not catching up. Pete.
Can I get 200 from Alaska?
You can buy some points from Martin or Richard. I just have to hear confirmation.
Hey, my points are $1 a point. I'll put my memo right up on the screen for you guys, right? Or I'm gonna put
Darcy, are you ready?
Yoink
the price.
Yoink bot.
Yoink bot! Yoink bot!
Did I get yoinked out?
Oh, yoink bot.
Darcy, you're good?
Let me just find the screen again.
Oh, find us again. If anyone's watching, put something in the comments. Maybe it just takes YouTube. Maybe I'll have to link to YouTube. I don't know.
I just shared it to a whole bunch of groups I'm in. I think it's up.
Does it pull from Facebook too?
It pulls from everything in theory. If you haven't tested it. If you're on Facebook,
I'm testing this out. This is I learned about StreamYard recently, and I'm in digital marketing, and one of my mentors has been using it quite effectively, just for communicating with students. But in terms of building community, I'm curious to see how this all works, and I'm just testing to make sure that I'm seeing where it is online and how it looks on the other end, as well as from the studio.
Awesome.
That sounds more like A/B testing than what Peter said. I think she gets some points over just trying.
Free points.
She's trying to squeeze away some of your points there, Pete. It was like, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, she's nicking my points after I pitched.
To catch up a little bit of the market validation, there's always the napkin and pitching it to your bartender. If after a few cocktails you could explain it.
I award you 150 points prior to even asking.
Ooh,
look at that. We're learning the tricks of the trade.
Doing? I'm new here. LOL. We're playing.
Where are you coming in from? Which group are you in?
He's on Facebook. It looks like.
Comment.
Yeah, Facebook. But which from startup, or which group are you in that you're joining us?
There's a little lag. We'll just give it a few seconds. I'll put up a new comment if I see it. Give it 1 second.
All right, Darcy, you ready?
Nothing. Moving on.
As ready as will be, I guess.
All right, you're the final contestant. We have Nigel leading the pack here at 1,000. Dr. Pete with 900. Darcy's currently in last place with 150. Richard and Martin both have 250. All right.
He was annoying anyway. Gone.
Playing this methods game. Darcy, give us your methods for understanding demographics. So you can influence demographics. You cannot influence demographics. You can only adjust them. Demographics changes and trends impact my business. I need to be able to adapt to this. Tell us how to understand demographics.
Oh, should have jumped in earlier. The other answers for the other was better.
You had time to build up.
I was here.
She's got 150 points. She's got a bit of a buffer time.
What was that?
Darcy.
Oh, let's
go.
Yeah, I got somebody in here. Do I get points for the fact that I just jumping in? I already got some
50
people
points, but you're about to get lowered for not answering.
Tell us what instant reply is, Darcy.
It's
Real quick.
It's a automatic voice solution to help prompt. It's a lead generation tool for getting an instant reply.
Cool. You're up. You're still up.
Okay, so demographic can be the age demographic. It can be the racial demographic or a cultural demographic. So it's Nigel's looking bored. I'm not answering this well.
I'm actually feeling pretty good. You just carry on. You put us all to sleep, and I'm going to win this thing and walk away. I mean, I would have thought that fighting spirit in you, Darcy.
All right, we're dropping. People are dropping. Let's go. Keep it moving, guys.
Do you mind if
All
you
right.
repeat the question again? Sorry.
All right, Darcy, you're hanging tough at 200. Coming in last with 200 is Darcy, Richard, and Martin at 250. Dr. Pete at 900, and our winner, Nigel, at 1,000.
I think you did well coming in 3 minutes and ago.
Yeah, I won another meaningless Startup Weekend prize. That is my entire life. Yes.
We've got people new joining us on the stream asking us what Startup Weekend is. All right. Who wants to take that?
I'll play because I think I won, so I get to speak, right?
Nigel gets it.
All right, Startup Weekend, for those of you guys who are just tuning and following. 54-hour event, starts Friday night, runs through till Sunday evening. We get together on Fridays. Every team gets a chance to pitch out some ideas. They get to think about areas we want to solve. This particular Startup Weekend that we're going through right now is focused on solving one of the biggest crises that civilization and especially our generation has seen. And it's definitely something that's going to stay with us in living memory. So we're taking on COVID-19 through this 54-hour challenge with pitches that have been out Friday night. Saturday, we come together. We spend the morning going through, doing a bunch of ideation on technologies, solutions, and different product ideas we have. We usually get out of the building. We don't do that during quarantine times. We've been staying in the building, but reaching out to a whole bunch of people using platforms like this and others to contact folks, do some validation, customer discovery, market analysis, A/B testing, so on and so forth. Probably most of the stuff that G-Money had on those little cards of his. And then we wrap up sort of usually on Saturday night with a little bit of business model development and competitive analysis and that kind of stuff as we start putting that data together. All of this is sprinkled in usually with some really great food. Sadly, most people are cooking from home, so I hear it's a lot of ramen and a lot of wine. So that seems to be getting people through the weekend. All culminates at a really great event, a demo night on Sunday, which we're streaming live this year. So absolutely put it out there and make sure you guys tune in, where the top 10 teams, after funneling down from hundreds of ideas, will be filtered into just the top 10 teams who will be pitching off live on StreamYard at the startupweekend.us link. Had it on the bottom. Thank you, Richard, for the prompt of the wavy hand. That means Nigel say something. Got it. Yeah, that's Startup Weekend in kind of a nutshell. This is one of the first we're doing virtually at this scale, and this is a national Startup Weekend. So, yeah. Do I get a point for that, Richard?
You get one singular point for that. You are still in the lead with 1,001 point. And how about we take a look at a video of a Startup Weekend in person and see how that feels. Let's roll it.
Stop talking about it and just do it.
It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's a lot of work. It's not easy. It's a lot of fun, but you're going to cry a lot too.
Startup Weekend is this sustainable, repeatable event that you then take and you transfer into each specific community and say, what does this community really need? Startup Weekend Charleston allows people to say, if I had all of these different skill sets and I didn't have to do everything, could this idea come to life?
My name is Layden Stevens. I'm from the College of Charleston. I'm a freshman, and I came here for a high-impact learning experience. One of the most impactful things that's gone on here is just being thrown into the pitching situation. You have to roll with the punches. And I think that's incredibly useful knowledge that you don't get just in school or somewhere else.
My name is Lofton Khan. I'm a freshman at the College of Charleston. I'm in an entrepreneurship living learning community. Coming in here and having an idea of what it's going to be like and then actually doing it, you know, through the process of customer validation and talking to all these people, we figured out the problem that we thought we had was completely different than the problem that actually exists.
My name is Mike Grimes. I'm from Washington, D.C. Something that's new that I can take away is market validation. We engaged in an activity where we had to take our product and our idea and actually go out face-to-face to assess what people thought about it and get feedback.
I'm Henrik de Gior. I'm actually a pitch coach. What I got out of it is understanding the dynamics of entrepreneurship in a very rapid, iterative phase.
My name is Augusto Honorino. I'm from Argentina. I learned a lot about how to actually organize my project in order to other people to understand it.
Startup Weekend Charleston provides that ability for people to come and in a safe environment figure out, is my idea viable, without the pressure of it being this like puffed up Charleston economy. Startup Weekend is about taking your idea for a business into reality with a bunch of people that you never thought you needed in order to do it.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And we're back. Welcome back.
Yay.
That was great.
That was awesome. And
We should get you to play our border one we made a couple of years ago. How do I get you to play that video? Can you play a live video from YouTube, or do you have to download it?
you're gonna have to Venmo me about 1,001 points, and then we'll talk.
I'm sorry. Just to remind you guys, Nigel is leading.
The answer is if you send me the YouTube link, I will pull it on my end and then re-upload it, and we'll have that at the break of the next segment. How's that sound? Back to you, G-Money.
All right, Nigel, you're up. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you, sir. All right. Well, welcome to obviously what is the most important segment of the evening, mine. So for this segment, what we're going to be doing is playing a really rapid game that I don't know. I think it's going to have the word yoink points in it. I think yoink points is what I'm going to call my 1,001 points because I lead. So I have 1,001 yoink points. Anyway, so there is an opportunity to win some serious yoink points for those who win the game. What we're going to do is for the last two people that will be left in this game, you guys will be competing over. I think we're going to give you guys an opportunity to compete for over 500 yoink points in just this game alone and engage in this. So the way the game is going to work is we're just going to do a very simple game of counting around in the squares. I'm going to move in a clockwise fashion. So we're always moving clockwise. So you guys know which way clockwise is? For the Americans, it's that way, but it's not that way. It's that way, right? There we go. Because everything's on the screen. There we go. No, Peter, it's the other way. It's that way. It's anti-clockwise with your finger on the screen. There we go. All right, so we're moving clockwise as you are seen on the screen. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be doing a simple game of counting to begin with. So let's just go around the circle and count. I'll start with 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6.
Right. Okay. So I'm glad that this is really hard to count up to 6, guys. But I mean, I appreciate if we press a little bit faster. The game will have to work on a little bit faster than this. Okay. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6.
Okay, that was absolutely no faster whatsoever, but thank you, guys. Okay, we'll do that. All right, next variation in this game, we're going to replace the number. So every second person that speaks, and we're just going to keep counting up, okay, is going to have to clap. Is that okay? You guys get it? All right. So we're going to have one person, second person, and on the third person, it's going to be a clap. So you just have to count that you are 3 since the last clap. Does that make sense? So it's 1, 2, clap, 3, 4, clap, 5, 6, clap, and so on and so forth.
Darcy's gonna clap, and Martin.
Actually, we should do the claps instead of the numbers, right? Would that be better?
Because
Yes.
Nigel's accent sounds like he's saying 1, 2, crap.
Right on, man. Right on.
Yoinks.
Yoinks, right?
Yoinks. Yoinks. Yoinks.
Oh.
Right. We reordered it. Things great.
Oh.
It's fine. We can do the 1, 2 crap as well, guys. All right. So,
I'd rather not.
I've got a feeling this is going to go horribly wrong. We're going to try it anyway. All right. So 1.
So let me repeat this because it said 1, 2 at the below. So it's 1, 2 clap. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's 1, 2 clap, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. It's 1, 2 clap, 4, 5 clap, 7, 8 clap, so on and so forth. Okay.
If you screw it up, that's where people are
If
saying.
you guys screw it up, you get yoinked. It's very simple.
Capiche. Whenever you're ready, Nigel.
Well, I don't have to go first. I think Darcy, because she's giving me so much 1, 2 crap, that I need to put her up first. Okay.
1,
2,
crap,
3.
Thank you.
Yoink.
And we lost one. There we go. Yoinks.
Ooh, that was not fair.
carry
Rules
on.
unclear. Rules unclear. I'm going to make an executive decision. Bring that back. You say the next number. Crap replaces your number. Let's try that again, Nigel. Let's be fair. Come on. I know you're British, but let's be fair.
I like the way that we're writing out half the answers for half the crowd here. I mean, we've already put it out there, so just see if we can keep going up through the numbers. Shouldn't be that hard. Anyway, okay, the first time we get this pretty easy. Just read the screen. All right, 1.
2.
Martin, did you say something?
Wait, are we building a company this weekend? Is that what's happening?
Are we building up to something here, G-Money?
No, we're going through first grade again.
I think he's frozen. Let's yoink.
All right.
1.
2.
Crap.
4.
5.
I can't tell if he's still or frozen on purpose.
Agreed.
I can't tell too. I think he just froze. It was just such a great time to freeze frame and have your internet die.
Where are we at? 7?
We're at 7.
8.
Crap.
What do you mean? Hang on a second, Dr. Pete. What do you mean? 8.
Whether I say crap or not whether the number.
I have a quick question. Just to know this platform, is it just because I'm in a guest mode of this on the broadcast that I don't get to see any from whoever's hosting this? Are you able to see how many people are watching live? Is there their analytics?
We've got 5.
And does it tell you which platforms they're in which actual groups they're coming in from? Or
Not
just what
groups.
platform, like if they're YouTube, or is it just or Facebook, or is it just tell you how many people there are total?
Well, we can figure it out, Darcy. So we do back numbers. So we know that Rich is streaming out to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So his mother's on all 3 accounts watching.
All right. We're going to take negativity out of here. 1, 2, crap. You ready? 1.
Because I wanted to help pull more viewership if there was.
All right.
If we knew who.
I've got 2 from my Facebook, 2 from the Startup Weekend Facebook, which is the link I gave you. So you probably have 2 people on here. 0 on my YouTube, 1 on the Startup Weekend YouTube.
Okay.
So what we call ROI for the 6 of us that are on here. We get 6 people.
Come on, write in the comments.
7 now. We got 7.
Richard,
You got
can
2
you make
more.
your
Invite
personal
people.
Facebook public? It's your friends only right now when you
What?
shared it. Richard.
Me, I fixed it.
Okay, perfect.
I has fix. I fix has fix. 1, 2.
X has the fixer.
Has so the fix.
So
So in all of this, I'm going to say 1.
We're having so much trouble with this game, guys. We're supposed to be entrepreneurs or something like that, right?
So, I said 1.
Do you want to can't count?
I'm
2.
sharing.
What's the number that comes after 1?
I'm sharing. I'm not paying attention. You have to tell us when the game starts.
Okay.
The game is
Okay,
over.
we're going to give 1 more go, guys. 1 more go. Otherwise, we're just going to default and give the points back to charity because I think that's the best thing we can do.
The yoink points to the WHO.
Hey,
something you guys to chase after. All right, Richard, starting the game with you in 3, 2, 1, go.
1.
Now, clearly, I went 3, 2, 1, so then you have to go -1. Okay, never mind. All right, 1. So hang on a second. You said 1?
Oh, you're.
He's going. We can't
Richard,
get above. Get above 3. All right. 1. Martin.
2.
There it is.
4.
You're supposed to say 3.
No, because Darcy says 3, so I'm 4.
No, she said crap.
Yeah, but she would have said 3.
Oh my God! I thought we were. Richard, the rules are not clear.
It's not my segment. It's not my segment. My segment was fantastic. 1, 2, crap is crappy crap. I was supposed to make some pizza rolls. We're going back to cooking with Rich. On tonight's segment of Cooking with Richard, we've got pizza rolls. I've got about 90 pepperoni pizza rolls here. Can I get a graphic down below for Cooking with Richard, please? We're experiencing so much trouble. Oh, I promise.
Michael, I guess because you're a foodie, does Richard's choice of food this evening agree with your culinary preferences?
Doesn't matter. We're bringing it back here. We're cooking.
Let's just say, I think
Toto's
Nigel's game is perfect. Because Richard will do 1, 2 crap from eating the food.
Pizza rolls.
No, I think he's going to do 1, 2 crap, 3, 4. Hang on a second. I can't even do the damn game.
1, 2 crap, 2, 2 crap, 4, 2 crap, 5, 2 crap. Just scrap.
Yeah. All right. Well, what are you doing with it? You just eat out the packet. What is that, Richard?
Pizza rolls, my friend. I know they don't have it over across the pond, but
I need to make this bigger so I can see what you're up to.
Pizza rolls, pizza rolls, pizza rolls.
And then you just like look at them, or you hope to.
You lick them. You lick them. You got a logo on your face. You got Lady Liberty on your face, Nigel. You lick them. We had about 11 people. They dropped off.
Lady Liberty. It's like me. I turned into a beaker. It's great.
You're a beaker bot. Hey, Greg.
All right, Nigel.
Had fun.
How do we keep going?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, I think I'm going to end the segment really soon, G-Money, because I think we're running out of time. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to default. We're going to give this one more try, only because I think the rules have now been clear. It's 1, 2, crap, 4, 5, crap, 7, 8, crap, 9. No, wait a minute. I got that wrong. Okay. Good. All right. So everyone got the game? We're starting with G-Money to start. Go.
1,
2.
Crap.
He's frozen.
I think he plays with us. I think he's moving. I think he's there.
He's frozen.
He's breathing.
Get him out of here.
Hey, I'm going to put up a "We Are Broken" graphic because we really are broken. Except I didn't load in the "We Are Broken" graphic, so we're not that broken.
And this ends the segment, guys. We're giving the yoink points to COVID-19. I think the virus is going to beat us all. Thank you, guys. That is the end of the segment. Right?
That is the end of this segment. We have experienced so much trouble, but we started cooking with Richard. It's in the freezer. It's cooking in the freezer. Don't you worry. It's coming out soon.
Everybody be sure to join us live tomorrow night for the finalists, the national finalists, and part of this global online startup weekend, COVID-19. Drop the link for everybody to, okay, I guess we're double check the exact link on where they find us tomorrow.
Yep, startupweekend.us. Same place all weekend long, startupweekend.us. We're linked out from there. Come join us. And we promise we will not play 1, 2 crap on our stream. That is a
and the finalists will be at 7 p.m. Eastern time, correct?
Well, technically, yes. We're starting the stream. We're starting the kickoff with the MC at 7:30, 7 o'clock Eastern time. But we've got a DJ, live DJs to lead us in, starting at 6:30. You want to see that? Come through at 6:30. Roll some pre-roll videos before then, so the earlier the better. You can start queuing up at 6. You can start queuing up at 4 in the morning. I don't care. Page is there. I'm going to go get my pizza rolls.
They've done already? Is that food he's eating?
Whoa.
Yeah, it cooks in -1 second.
Cooks in -1. There we go.
Actually, no, it's 1, 2 crap. It's cooked.
Crap. Ding!
That came from Startup Weekend, I believe. It is too hard for us entrepreneurs building companies in 54 hours to play 1, 2 crap. We can't get up to 10.
Richard, we're not really any worse accounting than most Bay Area P&L sheets.
Hey, go find your financial person on your team and bring him back up, will you? Darcy, are you joining us as a participant, a mentor, a facilitator? What are you joining us as?
I'm a participant.
Yeah, tell us about the company that you built.
I pitched an idea, but I joined over to another team called Mint Link, connecting charities or nonprofits with funders, grant funders to accelerate the process. There's a lot of community-based organizations that provide really life-sensitive and critical services to the community. And with the lack of funding, because funding is kind of shut down, individual donations had really come to a standstill in limiting their opportunity to provide critical resources and services to their community. It's having a profound effect in certain areas, and which there's some life-saving services that some of these community-based organizations have provided. And as a result of them not being able to provide their life-saving services, COVID has expanded its reach. So there's definitely a financial correlation between this spread of COVID and actual. Sorry, I'm freezing a little bit. I'm not sure.
You're good. That's awesome. That
Did I
sounds
bore everybody? There's only the two of us now. Did I bored everybody?
You scared them all off. They all left.
Scared them all off. I'm not the presenter tomorrow. I just came into it. I'm excited about nonprofits and want to be able to accelerate the, see what we can do. But I'm not the polished presenter for tomorrow.
Right there with you. I've worked in nonprofits forever. I helped run an entrepreneurship center. I work with the makerspace and all about nonprofits and supporting our community. So tell me, Darcy, what would it mean to you and your team if you guys were in the top 10? And what would it mean to you guys if you guys actually took home the #1 prize? What does that mean for you? How does that make you feel?
All right, now I can feel my whole body tingling. Like the amount of impact that it could do would be incredible. I'm speechless. Again, I see the impact that community-based organizations have in saving lives. Like even the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, they're at a standstill of income coming in, of some of the resources. There's so much going on right now that lives are saved by the work that they do. That's just one example. Or there's churches that provide services, and I see it saving lives double. Not just about some of the health-oriented nonprofits that are able to help offset the resources of the health organizations and emergency responders and so forth, but the actual the back end of all of this, not just the immediate virus, but some of the mental health and other services. So it'll amplify the amount of lives saved.
I'm just going to bring everyone on. That is amazing. I think that is amazing.
Fantastic.
Right? That is so awesome. And we are all here gathered together to fight back against COVID-19. And I think every single story that will come out of this weekend is just as inspirational as that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry, what's happening, guys? What are we doing?
Why are you?
What are you working on this weekend? Yoink. I'm gonna bring up the Yoink bot graphic from our Mr. Red Tide, Deaf Tide, Red something. Michael, Brian.
Roll Tide.
The Red Hype.
What do you?
Red Hype.
Red Hype. Thank you. Red Hype. Dr. Pete, talk to us.
Not to be confused with.
Yes, sir. What's up?
I'm sorry. I yoinked you.
You yoinked me.
Darcy, you were saying? Yoinked. Yeah, tell us what you're working on and tell us about your team.
So I came to the startup weekend to join a team, and I found one. This is focused in on the safety needs of those checking into medical clinics and the impact that it can have on medical professionals when you're having to do COVID testing and COVID checking. So it's actually focused on providing a virtual waiting room, which might be your car, to be able to use a web-based tool so you can actually turn your vehicle into your waiting room. So you can check in, you can find out from the medical providers how long you're going to have to wait. They can determine whether you need to be instantly seen, or they can come out to your vehicle and see you. So it's really convenience for the patient, but also safety and time management for the health provider. And this is a need that we've seen from our team members who are in the health fields, and we're pitching this capability that can be available to the clinics, but also be a management and a safety system for the patients.
That's amazing. How did you guys come to this, right? Talk a little bit about where the idea came from and pivots and iterations. And I'm sure I've been through these. I've helped put these on in so many different pivots and so many different things based on customer validation, customer discovery, talking to people.
Exactly, yeah. So this came out actually from a medical practitioner, a medical professional living in California. He's and this will be part of the pitch tomorrow, but he's seen the impact it can have on his friends and colleagues. He's seen this need and has seen how it could make a benefit and provide a safe environment for both the patient and the practitioner. So we've gone through all different iterations of, like, do we provide parking spots like you might do if you were turning up at a pick and go like a Walmart? We've looked at what are the types of apps. Are we going to be web-based? Are we going to be smartphone-based? All the different connotations and options to provide a service, but also to provide something that we can present that is accomplishable in 54 hours. That's the critical thing, is you don't shoot for the moon and try and get the moon in 54 hours, but you want something that's manageable, and you can provide evidence that it's scalable afterwards. So you have to make sure that you're developing something that you can present as a viable solution in that 54 hours. You're not going to form a company that's going to be everything in 54 hours, but you've got to demonstrate that you've seen that light at the end of the tunnel as well.
Absolutely. You can't be everything for everyone ever, but especially in 54 hours, right? And one of the mistakes I made in the past was, hey, we had this great core product and we expanded it, and the company does all of this, and that wasn't great. And really, so what is your core product? What is the thing that you will be able to deliver in 54 hours?
So the core thing is our minimum, or the minimum viable product in a technical term, is a web-based solution that provides you with the ability to check in from your vehicle using a GPS locator. And therefore, you know where you are, the practitioner knows where you are in the parking lot. And if they need to come out and see you after filling out a COVID screening tool, they can come to the vehicle based on where you're parked.
Absolutely. And you guys will have that ready to demo for us tomorrow if you are in the top 10.
That's the plan. We have our back-end team working on the GPS location side of it and the clinic side of it, and we have our pitch ready to go, and we're just finishing the final touches on the GPS computational side for the web tool.
That's amazing. All right, let's bring everyone else back up. Thank you so much, Dr. Pete.
You're welcome.
That was amazing, right? Come on.
Hello, everybody.
I got a question for our organizers and our one mentor here, right? Why do you guys do this? We know that us organizers work tirelessly day in and day out. I work a lot of hours, sleepless nights to put this all together.
Just one sec. Rich, can you yonk me out for a second so there's not a blank screen if I need to just jump?
Did he drop? Yonk.
was that a self-imposed yoink? Wow.
Self-imposed yoink. He said yonk, but yoink.
He did say yonk.
So is it?
I'm going to have to teach British. I'm going to have to teach Peter how to speak the proper British version of yoink. Yes.
Yeah. Is it East Coast versus West Coast thing? You know, we had the East is beast and West is best. Let's get a graphic for that, right? Hashtag East is beast and West is best. And is it yoink or is it
yoink?
Yoink. Let's take a vote. Hands up for yoink.
Yoink.
Hands up for yonk. Looks like officially on the Startup Weekend Saturday night party stream, we have coined it yoink. It's like oink, but with a Y. Yoink. You say it wrong, you get yoinked.
Ben McCugan says
Add it to the
invite him
handbook.
in.
Add it to the handbook. G Money, do it. Add it to the handbook. Hey, G Money, Nigel, Martin, why do you guys volunteer your time? Why are you guys here doing this in general? Why do you do startup weekends? And why especially are you here for this one?
I love working shoulder to shoulder with people who have a common goal.
Yeah.
Whether it's running, robotics, or startups, those are the areas that I love. And Techstars Startup Weekend really promotes that whole safe space. We're all in this together. We're doing a thing. We know we're here solving problems, right? The premise of a startup weekend for me is always that it's going to be hard because we're choosing to solve something or go into something new. It's not like, oh, well, this is easy and there's just a process and we'll just follow it and then we'll come out on the other side. It's going to be difficult by the premise of we're jumping into something new that's difficult, and we're going to put in the work to find the answer, to find a possible solution. So I do this because working shoulder to shoulder with people for a common goal is just fun. I'm willing to stay up till 3 a.m. like I am right now to hang out with people that are doing that. That's what I want to be doing more of.
Yeah, I feel that exactly. Nigel, why do you organize? Why are you here working day in, day out? I've worked side by side with you, putting together tech for this event over the past couple weeks. Why do you do this?
You know, such a deep and emotional question you asked, Richard, and I have no freaking idea at all. So, I mean, you know, I don't think anyone should be doing this. It's just self-abuse. But no, it's very rewarding, right? Somebody did it for me. And that's how I look back at it. I remember that, you know, going through university, any entrepreneur drive I had kind of got a bit quashed by the system, and you kind of go through and you kind of like get trained and you kind of lose that spirit. You kind of think that, okay, I need to do this to complete that, to complete this, to get a good job, to do the rest of it. And then there was these entrepreneur competitions and little things. But I remember Startup Weekend, everyone tells their story, their first Startup Weekend. And I mean, hell, you could hold a whole segment on that right next, you know. But the story of the first Startup Weekend for me, though, was really kind of inspirational because I was just a facility manager, managing IT at a center, and there was this thing going on called Startup Weekend, and they just asked, hey, could I be around the office and space to keep an eye on the Wi-Fi and make sure things ran for these guys? And that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be in rooms. They're going to be doing some stuff. No one really knew. First time in that country, Startup Weekend was coming, so that was actually out in Yerevan, Armenia, and it was the first time that Yerevan, Armenia had hosted a Startup Weekend because somebody had seen it and brought it to Yerevan. And I just happened to be in the building and running it for that weekend. And I remember it was just such a weird experience. So the first night, you know, kind of helped deal with some of these tech inquiries, got everyone on the Wi-Fi, and then everything was pretty solid. And it was like, okay, what do I do? And I saw people going through this process, and it was kind of just a pretty amazing thing to see. I ended up getting sort of sucked on to a student team, which was like, you know, mostly 15, 16-year-olds on the team. And they were younger guys really trying to do something, and they didn't quite have the technical knowledge and some of the equipment to do it. And luckily, I mean, because we ran the building, we had a bunch of stuff. So I was like, well, cool, let's go get this stuff for you guys and start putting it together. And, you know, I remember we getting through and out of that, like, you know, we just built this like bond. And I remember that, you know, I've even had those guys to reach out to me, I mean, 10 years later, sort of saying, you know, sending pictures from that night that we had, a couple of nights we had together in Startup Weekend. Did we build something that went on to be a successful startup? Did we do anything with it? Not necessarily, but we built relationships and bonds. But most importantly, we activated like a kindred spirit around entrepreneurship. And I think that was a huge deal. I realized that there was this community of people that were willing to just spend their free time. And it really is crazy, right? To spend your free time working on ideas that have yet to be proven, hoping to find others who might join you on those ideas, to go on a journey of discovery, which most likely will result in negating those ideas, only then to get in to end it on Sunday, and then to wake up Monday morning and going, should I keep going with this, right? And I guess I've done enough Startup Weekends now and to really enjoy being part of that community, and kind of grown through the various networks through that. And you know, I just I appreciate what Techstars does. I appreciate what so many of our ecosystem builders across the US and globally do to really sort of do this. And I've really bought into a phrase that I think, you know, Brad Feld, from one of the co-founders of Techstars and at the Foundry Group, has really embraced, which is this idea of give first. And give first is something that I think, you know, we all have to do, because we don't quite know what the value is for this ecosystem, but I know that all I can do is if I do my little part to try and help this weekend come together. And trust me, it hasn't been the easiest ride. It's been like a brand new team. I didn't even meet people before. I was already doing stuff, and it was all of those weirdnesses coming together. The power to hopefully help somebody activate that spirit. I don't even care if they build a company that helps solve COVID-19. I think that would be great. What I really care about is the fact that we activate some of those, those entrepreneurial spirits, because by doing that, it gives them the permission to kind of carry on forward and keep doing more of that. So someone did it for me. I'll do it for them, and hopefully they'll do it for others. And that's how we grow the entrepreneurial community and entrepreneurial way of thinking, globally. So yeah, hopefully that's kind of what I'm about, Richard. There's definitely moments when I have absolutely no idea why I'm doing it. So yeah.
That is the deepest I've ever seen you ever, period. And I love it. Thank you, Nigel. It's amazing. Martin, what about you? You're a mentor here for us for Startup Weekend. Why do you mentor? Why do you give back? Why do you give first?
I mean, wow, Nigel really nailed it. But I think I do it because, to me, it's really amazing to help people unlock potential that they have. Oftentimes, I think it's my 6th or 7th Startup Weekend. Oftentimes, I have seen people come out of the shell, or people leave Startup Weekend with abilities they didn't know they had, with a brand new take on life, where you're like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that I knew this. I didn't know that I was capable of this. And it's amazing to awaken that in people, to empower people to become a solution to their own problems, a solution to their community problems, where you on Monday morning they leave the space. Usually we're in a physical space, but they leave going like, wow, now I can now have all these tools to solve all the problems, to create new solutions that I didn't know I had before. And yeah, you awaken something in people that is really fun to see.
That's really amazing, right? That's so awesome. I love hearing from all of you. Oh my God. I got in the comments, Ben McDougall. He is a 1 Million Cups regional rep, Southwest, if I'm correct, right, Ben? Hey, I'm going to private message you the link, and I'm going to hop you in to talk a little bit about community and how we can come together and support each other, because that's what 1 Million Cups is about. And all these different programs around here supporting entrepreneurs, we can all work together to push this forward. We're all going towards the same goal and same mission to help entrepreneurs and to help people bring together a community, connect people from around the world, find solutions to big problems, yes, and really, really help people grow as people, as entrepreneurs, as professionals. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And really why I do it is because I want to give back, because of all the experiences I've had, where I've been fortunate and privileged. And it's been, people have given me so much, my mentors, my advisors. And I just want to take that and give it back to everyone else, pay it forward, give first, right? And the best feeling to me in the world is to connect people. If someone comes to me and says, hey, I need a web developer, and I say, I got the guy, let me put you on the phone with him. Or I'm moving to Austin, I'm looking for a data science job. Yes, like I know someone, let's connect you. If I'm looking for someone to connect with in Berlin, yes, I got you. And I go to these, I attend, I volunteer, I mentor, I organize to meet people, hear stories, hear different perspectives, bring people together, because everything I do in my life is community. And it goes back to my compass, right? My North Star. What can I do to leave the world a better place than I found it? And I really think it's bringing people together and driving progress and driving companies forward, yes, but the connections and the human piece is really, really important to me. So I'm going to kick it over to G Money real quick. I'm going to invite Ben in here. He can give us his thoughts. I'm going to yoink myself real quick.
It's amazing sometimes when you come out of a startup weekend, how it's a month or two later or a year later. And right afterwards, a lot of people that night exchange contact info, and you're connected on LinkedIn or Facebook friends now, or the group or the Slack channel. But then in a month or two, sometime down the road, someone hits you back up and they say, hey, I'm working on X. Or something's come up, I have an idea. And then they reconnect. And like Nigel was talking about, you have that spirit, that idea of how people work and that energy they work in from the weekend. And then that startup weekend energy, that network you can always go back to no matter what you're working on. So oftentimes I talk about the things you take from the weekend. The startup weekend is not about that thing you build. It's all about the muscles you work. And what you're really doing is practicing those tenets of entrepreneurship. Just like you go and work out your body, this is flexing your entrepreneurial muscle. And so whether you're learning a new skill or sharing a skill, learning new ideas or sharing your ideas and learning how to share your ideas, meeting new people, building something new, learning a new method or a process, that energy, that network, and those skills are what you take away from the weekend. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of food, and you get to build something cool probably. What you really take away is the practice of entrepreneurship, the methods and being in the throes of things and communicating your ideas effectively with people of different backgrounds and skill sets. If you have a business person and a data science person trying to talk, they have different vocabulary and languages. Their background of their mindset is just different, not right or wrong, just different. And so having to communicate your ideas so that someone of a different background can hear them and understand them and digest them and then move forward together, that's a skill. You can't just do that. Some people might, right? You can always get better at those things though. And so being a part of a weekend helps you flex that muscle. And as I always like to say, you need to keep working out no matter your age. So if you're a rookie entrepreneur or a veteran entrepreneur, that doesn't mean you have it all figured out. If you ever say that, well, you're in trouble, right? So if you're starting out or if you've been in the game for 30 years, you're just at a different point. Just like you reread the same book and you actually get different things from that same book. Same thing applies here. If you're a rookie and you're just getting started with entrepreneurship, come to a startup weekend, participate, and you'll get certain things from the weekend. If you're a veteran of 30, 40 years in entrepreneurship, come participate in a startup weekend, you'll get something else out of the weekend. So we invite everyone to participate and just share their skills and ideas and methods and grow their network.
Absolutely. It's all about the journey. It's all about going from point A to point B, and it's working the process, right? You can learn the theory in the books. You can go to class, you can get an MBA. But if you're going to learn how to ski jump, are you going to read it in the book, or are you going to go and ski jump a couple times in small hills on places where it's safe to fail and then go do the real thing? Or are you just going to sit at home and read the book, right?
Yeah, I could read a book about how push-ups and form of how to do push-ups, but until I get down on the ground and push, I'm not going to build any muscle.
Well, what is
you guys look at me as an example of that? I read a lot of books on push-ups. It really didn't work out well. So there you go.
All right, I'm going to bring up here Ben McDougall, 1MC, rep. Ben, what's up? You are muted. Come back on air and tell us what's up, dude. Good morning, good night. Welcome.
I don't accidentally mute. I'm here. Welcome. It's late, but we're here. Hey, happy startup weekend.
Happy startup weekend, my friend.
Hey, this is an experience for people. I'm curious, who's building right now? Like, this is the special moment where you listen to EDM and build a little bit harder, not knowing if it's actually true or real or a good idea.
Mhm.
but at least you're moving things in the right direction.
Yeah. Who's building? We got Dr. Pete and we got Darcy building this weekend. And Nigel and Grant and myself, we're organizers. We're helping them out. We're putting the things in place so they can go forth and build.
Thank you. God, it's such a blessing. Hey, look, the cost of freedom is entrepreneurship. And if you find the team that you're able to build with in these moments, what a special time to build something that you care about, but also maybe more importantly, connect with someone else who is passionate about whatever you are building. That to me is the most interesting aspect of it. And I'm not connected with everyone on the call, but I am curious, like the idea the business might fail, but the connections that are established during the weekend of building together, what's more valuable, like the connections that you build or the company, the idea that you push forward?
To me, it's connections, because you can build more ideas from those connections down the road. One idea from the weekend, a lifetime ideas from the connections. That's how I look at it. It's definitely the connection side for me personally. If the idea is great, that's great, but it's connecting with like-minded individuals, people that have the same philosophy, people have the same direction of what they want to see, the changes they want to see, the way they want to interact with society, that they want to help society, be it technological, be it financial, be it social, be it cultural. We're all innovators. That's how we survive and how we adapt to society. But let's try and do something together for the better of everybody, not just those in the weekend. But it's the connections that leads to, as I think G-Man was saying, and that leads to something. Who knows? 5 years down the road, you meet somebody in a coffee shop, and you're both wearing the startup T-shirt. You didn't meet at a startup weekend at the same startup weekend, but you connect because you're like, hang on a moment, I recognize that logo. It might be a bit faded. You might be a bit older. You might have a more ball patch, but you're connecting through something that's more than the event itself. And I think that's what Startup Weekend does.
I think that's an amazing description, and I feel that 100%, right? That is the Startup Weekend community, the alumni network, right? You go on LinkedIn and you look up anyone with Startup Weekend. When you're part of the family, you're in. Yeah. They'll help you. They'll go and go to the ends of the earth to help you. Same thing with other communities. 1 Million Cups, Startup Bus, right?
Exactly.
That's why I seek out these communities and participate, because now if I need anyone anywhere, I can find them, and it's amazing. You go through the valley of suck. You go through this ever-loving hell. With your team, yes, you make a lot of great connections with the people that you work with, your team, and the people that are physically there, the 30, 100, 900 plus this weekend people, this 900 plus for this weekend, but it's kind of like a badge of honor. You know that someone is part of the family, part of the crew, part of the tribe, when they've gone through the same thing you've gone through, and now you have something to connect over. Hey, how was your experience at Startup Weekend? Hey, you presented at 1 Million Cups? Where? When? Like, how was that experience? You organized? That's amazing. And we can talk about shared experiences and shared things. And that is a wider community of people who haven't even met yet. And that's the power of these, right?
It is definitely fun to see the evolution of someone who participates in Startup Weekend and takes it to the 1 Million Cups environment. I am curious about those next steps. GS, since we've not met before, I'll call on you. I'm curious, how have you seen people
G-Money, Benovator?
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Art Benovator.
But
what are you curious about?
I am curious. like the startup weekend aspect of it is beautiful. Build now and take it beyond just this weekend. But what are the relationships that you're building and the opportunities that exist for people who connect beyond just the 3 days that you're building upon, and examples of how they stay connected beyond just the weekend?
I'm glad you're asking. For one, I did just talk about that pretty pointedly right before you came on, unfortunately.
Well, then
so
I'll
just shift
move past it. What are the key points?
So when you connect with someone, like Richard is talking about, you're kind of going through hell together, and that brings up a whole host of things, no matter what kind of hell it is, that you and that person now share. And so week down the road, a month or a year, you might be working on something. And so that something might spark in your head that person you met at Startup Weekend Friday night at dinner. Maybe you didn't work with them on your team, but you sat next to them Friday night and they're a complete stranger. And now what you're able to do is call back to them because you exchange contact info and you're able to do something that you weren't able to before. And where it really comes into play is in those times when you're building, you're thinking of new things, or you're going into a new space and you want that help. You know that those people from Startup Weekend have the right mindset and they're open to hearing you out. And that's really what you get to bring back with you on Monday, whether you're in a classroom or a boardroom. On Monday, everything you did from the weekend, skill sets, ideas, sharing knowledge, and that network, that's what you take with you. Yeah, you had a whole bunch of food you got to eat for free. You had a good time. You got to go into probably a cool space. It's really the people and the energy that you take with you on Monday.
I wonder what amount of people build companies together moving past a weekend. That's of course interesting, but maybe even subtly also important is how many people connect and all of a sudden work together on something that they're already doing.
So we know that 12% of ideas move past the weekend. So the majority of ideas don't continue past the weekend. And that's why we know that it's about way more than that. So it's actually a point of pride as when I facilitate a Startup Weekend to say, only 12% go past. That's not what we're doing here. That's a vehicle to what we're really doing. And that opens up the whole discussion of what's happening. The company is the vehicle for what's actually going on. And so, of course, Friday night during dinner, when you have no idea anyone else in the room, you're going to be sharing. What are you going to be sharing? You're going to be sharing what you're talking about, Benovator, the thing that's been on your mind the past week or month. You know, I've been thinking about maybe doing this business, or I saw someone do that and I can do it better. What do you think of that? What are your ideas? It's just human nature for us to share those things in a space like Startup Weekend, a safe yes and space like Startup Weekend.
Absolutely. Like to reiterate, like it really is the things you learn. You go to hackathons to learn programming skills, to learn coding skills, new frameworks, new languages, to test something out, to grow yourself as a developer. Same thing with Startup Weekends. You come here to grow yourself as an entrepreneur in whatever role you want to play. You could be the leader, you could be the designer, you could be a programmer. There's always something here for you. And you come in deciding, hey, I want to be a better leader and be a better delegator and trust people to do work and be able to manage a team. You can grow that skill set. You come in saying, hey, I'm an okay developer, but I want to learn new frameworks and actually apply what I know to building a real product, an MVP, trying to find ways under pressure to do it faster, to do it easier, to find frameworks that I never knew of that maybe other people, mentors, facilitators, the folks around me that are knowledgeable in, maybe they can teach me something, right? And myself as a veteran, startup weekend, startup bus, entrepreneurship, hackathon, whatever, and as a person who's always in the entrepreneurship community, attending one of these startup weekends. I did one virtually last weekend, and I still learned so much. Whatever, if it's your 100th or if it's your first, there's always things to learn. And it's amazing the people that you get to meet. Every time you do this, your network grows by so much.
So tell us, Richard, last weekend you did a startup weekend remote.
That's correct.
Right?
That's
as
correct.
An attendee.
As an attendee, as a participant, I built a company.
And now this weekend, you're running live stream and organizing this event here for the USA. What?
That's right.
Tell us about Tell us about that. What's your experience been like as an attendee and an organizer?
It's crazy. This last weekend was a rescheduled in-person one, so it wasn't part of the COVID-19 thing, and it was really an amazing experience. I went in there knowing kind of what to expect for an in-person startup weekend, but really curious to know how it would play out virtually, right? How connecting people around the world would work virtually, how it really was around the world. It was supposed to be a in-person event for Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut. And this crisis hit, and they took it virtual in a month. They swapped over from something like March 30th to like April 17th and took it virtual. And my team, it wasn't traditional, hey, form your team, pitch your idea type of process. They had to abbreviate a little bit, and it was submit your idea and vote on ideas that you like with your 3 votes, and they'll assign you to teams, which was a new experience. It had to be adapted, which was really, really interesting. And it was really exciting because my team was really global. On my team, Charlotte was a student. She is a student at Sacred Heart University, and she's just outside Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right, so that's within the US, couple of time zones away, 1 or 2, that's fine. Then I had Mahir from Bangladesh. He was on our team 10 time zones away in Bangladesh, a student studying management technology in Bangladesh. He joined because he saw it on LinkedIn or somewhere online. He was like, hey, this looks exciting and it's virtual. I can do it from my home. And that was amazing. And our developer, very, very talented developer, is from Peru. He's a blockchain and cloud developer, and he's from Peru. And the very interesting challenge that we had to overcome as a team was a communication barrier. His primary language was Spanish, and he only spoke a little bit of English.
Wow.
And so as a team, we had to come together and figure out how we would communicate with Jose and how we would move together as a team throughout the weekend. Instead of saying, hey, you can't speak our language, we don't want you on this team. Instead of kicking him out, we thought of new solutions in this virtual world, right? We have all the technology and tools at our fingertips to do something like that. We ended up implementing a Slack bot that automatically translated the language from Spanish to English anytime he typed in Spanish. And anytime we typed in English, it automatically translated it. And we were able to communicate so effectively that weekend. And it was really awesome. Like, it was a big challenge. I love big challenges. I love to move mountains with the resources that I have. And when someone says, here's your challenge, I say challenge accepted. And that was our first big hurdle. And we ended up building an amazing company. And we talked to 25 or so real life community builders from around the world, got on the phone, got on Zoom, none of that survey stuff. We did our customer discovery, customer interviews. And really, we went in there with a problem. I went in there, what I pitched on that Google form that I submitted wasn't an idea. I didn't have it all fleshed out in my head. I didn't have the, we're going to do this and here's the plan, whatever. The spirit of Startup Weekend is really come with an idea that is half-baked, right? We like to play that game half-baked, and or come with the problem you want to solve And really, I went in there with the problem of how do we solve the world's biggest problem right now? How do we impact positively? How do we help those that are impacted most by COVID-19 in this crisis? And we had so many great ideas. The team, I said, hey, team, I know I'm a little bit more experienced than all of you. So I'm going to take a step back and say, hey, what can we come up with as a team? And what can we do that gets everyone to buy in, instead of me saying, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm here to win. This is what I want to do. And here's the plan. Let's just execute on it, right? And so we really spent the first 24 hours of a 54-hour startup weekend even coming up with a solution to this problem that was buildable in the next 36 hours, 34 hours, right?
Right.
So we had a lot of different ideas, and it was tossed out there. Hey, what if we do microfinancing in developing countries? Because those people are impacted the most. And what if we do crowd equity fundraising for companies that need money? What about a chat bot that provided resources to those after they told you who they were and what they needed? You direct them to the right place.
Oh.
A directory of crowdsourced resources for COVID-19 and a lot of different things. And I said, hey guys, there's a lot of great ideas on the table. I'm going to step in here a little bit with my experience and say, hey, what can we build in 54 hours, in the 30 hours that is left that is afforded to us? Something we can build that we can prove out a little bit, get an MVP on the table, get people interested. And it's definitely, I don't think it's a crowd equity funded grant or a grant whatever system for developing countries, because my attorney will yell at me and then my financial advisor will yell at me and they'll go, what are you doing? And so I said, hey, here's an interesting idea that I see in my community here locally in Troy, in the capital region. One of the restaurants started something with all the other restaurants. It's a bingo card. It's a physical piece of paper or a attachment, and you have all the different restaurants participating on there. And you go and shop at a restaurant, they give you a stamp, and then you can put it online in this Facebook event, and you can win raffles and prizes and whatever for just supporting local small businesses in your
Love that.
Yeah, so I called up the executive director of the Troy Downtown Bid. They oversee 500 plus small businesses and restaurants. And I was like, hey, how's the bingo card thing working? I see that Franklin Alley put out this bingo card. Tell me a little bit more about it. I want to do some customer discovery, see if it's a viable thing that we want to pursue. And she said, absolutely. We're seeing so much great response to this bingo card, to this
awesome
community engagement thing. And they're building out a second one for more small businesses, and someone in the community who's a community leader built one out for professional services. And my company is on there, which was awesome. And I was like, hey, how do we take this one thing that is a really shining example of something that is great in one small community in this capital region here and scale it nationwide, scale it globally? And how do we build that into a digital product, into a app or something that can deploy anywhere we want? Hyper local still, but scalable to the world, right? So we looked at that, and that was our first really major idea. We pivoted away from 10 ideas on a piece of paper.
Okay.
2 days in, it was Saturday morning, before we had to meet with mentors at 1 p.m. that day. And we still didn't have an idea solidified. We were still our company was called Idea Number 5, because that was the fifth. We're Idea Number 5 on that piece of paper. And we were Idea Number 5. And it was crazy. But we were like, hey, let's jump onto this bingo thing. We have to roll. Let's pick something and just do it. The easiest thing that can impact the most people, lowest effort, highest impact. And maybe it is scaling out a bingo card. Hey, that's simple to build for our very talented developer. So we started taking a look at that. And then we did more and more customer discovery with users, with restaurants and folks that would be customers and end users of this. And they said, what if I finish the bingo card, finish the 5 restaurants and I post it online? What else is there to do, right? How do I stay engaged? And I got us thinking, what if this could be a bigger thing than just a bingo card for restaurants? What if we take that concept of gamification and apply it to supporting small businesses and supporting restaurants, those that are hurting the most right now in this crisis? And we ran with that, and we looked at folks that were doing it really, really well. Yelp, right? You get your badges and your points and your levels, and they invite you to have some special perks and come do XYZ. But you're contributing so much of your time to write reviews and fact check and do whatever. And I was like, hey, like, I just remembered Google sent me an email the other day, and they're like, thanks for posting your pictures on Google Maps. You have helped over 1 million people. You have over 1 million photo views.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Wait, I don't remember posting any photos on Google Maps. I was like, oh, wait, every time I take food pictures at a restaurant, they're like, hey, do you want to post this? I know you're at Bart & Baker buying a bubble tea. You took a picture of bubble tea to post on Instagram. I might as well hit yes, and it goes directly to Google.
Yeah,
and you take that, and it goes into the restaurant's photo album on Google Maps, and it helps people see the products and see the restaurants. And I was like, so it has to be super simple that you kind of like just forget about it, right? Kind of forget that you did it, and you get an email that you helped 1 million people, over 1 million views, and it's crazy. So we combined those two. Hey, larger gamification. How do we gamify supporting small businesses and restaurants? Super simple, super easy. And so the solution we came up with was a platform, kind of like we took a look at Facebook, right? They have leaderboards for editing pages. I get a ping. It's like, hey, you're like number like 40 on the leaderboards. All your friends are beating you. You got to go contribute more. So I spent like 2 or 3 hours a couple weeks ago fact checking things. Is this open at this time? Does this website look correct? And it's all simple stuff that I can get. They link the website, click it. Yes, the website's correct, but they need people to manually fact check and verify that. And I did it all for free to gain like three fake virtual level 11 to
equity.
Level
18, yeah.
Right. I'm like, oh, I got level 14. I got to hit 15 before I go to bed. it drew me in, and I'm so busy, and I have so many
same thing.
Same, right?
I've done the same thing. Yep.
And I'll sit there.
I feel so happy when I get the Google photo email of how many people have viewed it.
It's like, whoa.
Who cares?
Right? But like that,
it's something
crazy. Like it drew me in, and I sat there for 3 hours, and I'm so busy with my life that I don't have time sometimes to like eat. Like that's really powerful. How do we apply that and support the people that need it the most, the small businesses and the restaurants? And we decided, hey, we're going to do a Facebook login thing. Every time you share something, every time you like something, every time you comment on something, it's giving a social boost to small businesses and restaurants. And we'll know based on pages who's what. And then you'll get points, something like 1 point for liking, 5 points for commenting, 25 points for sharing, because you're boosting the signal and helping small businesses and restaurants. But if you go and you purchase something at the restaurant, spend real money, you make a financial contribution to this local economy and the folks that are hurting the most, that need you to come in and buy a gift card or get takeout or get delivery, you get like thousands of points. And you start off with the smaller stuff, right? Completely free for everyone, very low cost to build out. And
did you guys find a bingo card then?
Sorry?
Did you find a bingo card online for local businesses, for like the downtown nonprofit to give to the local businesses? Did you find something like that?
Did we find something? So they built it. So the bingo card idea, they built it like by themselves, right? 24 restaurants came together and they said, we're going to put our name on this bingo card. Let's find it right now. Like that was really the inspiration for this. And it was doing a lot of good locally. And we're like, how do we take that and scale it? And we just ran from there. We did our customer discovery and we pivoted, whether it was, right or wrong. We really ran with it. And we only had really like 24 hours after we came up with the idea, because we spent a lot of time looking at the problem. So like, here's a news article on the bingo card. That's what it looks like.
Just a piece of paper.
It's literally a piece of paper and a sticker,
That's all
right?
it needs.
That's the MVP.
And then the sticker. I was thinking like you get and buy stamps, with a stamp pad, and then give one to each company, but they got a sticker.
Yeah, no, they each restaurant has their own sticker.
Right.
And you get their sticker for ordering at their thing. So you can find right there on that Facebook group, like 24, 25 restaurants locally are doing it. Like this is it. This is a piece of paper, and this is what's supporting our local small businesses.
So the company has to have the stickers. So someone's facilitating stickers, right?
Yes, so someone's making stickers in bulk. We have a local company. I don't know where they come from. I know we do have a local sticker manufacturer, Sticker Mule. They're huge. It's locally in Amsterdam. I don't know if they did it, but we have folks here that can do it. But these companies all signed on to do it.
Awesome.
It was headed up by one of the restaurants. And we talked to restaurants. We're like, hey, will you guys sign on? Will you whatever? We talked to the head of the executive director of the Troy Bid. And she's like, restaurants really don't want to do anything other than operate and try to make ends meet. They don't want to sign on to anything or build a platform or do whatever. So that was another big thing we learned. We have to make it as easy as possible, integrate with Google Maps and Yelp APIs and just pull data, just check it on our side and say, we don't even have to, right? We can build on top of good verified data. Mostly the Yelp gamification, people checking data, we pull that and we say, populate this profile. And we know that these restaurants have these profiles on our system. And, you get people hooked on the likes and the shares and whatever. And some people are like, how are you going to get people to tell you they bought stuff? Are you going to integrate with Grubhub? Are you going to do whatever? And we're like, well, once you get them hooked, they want all the points. They want to be at the top of the leaderboards. They're going to make sure they scan in every receipt. They're going to make sure they take pictures of everything because they want to beat their friends. They bought something for lunch. It goes in the system. It goes on our app.
Right.
And hey, yes, down the line, it's all we can do perks and prizes for first place in your neighborhood, first place in your country, compete against your neighborhood to be like the king or queen of social good. But it's not really about that. It's about helping the companies and helping the businesses. And so we're like, hey, we were called idea number 5. Like we're gonna how do we play off of that and our roots? We called it level 5. We're gamifying social good.
I have a few thoughts.
Yeah, dude. Too harsh. We built it in 24 hours.
I know. I will not be harsh, but instead I look for sustainability. This is an industry that is hard to nail down and is so. The first thing that comes to mind is how can this concept be utilized outside of the now?
Yes.
And if it cannot, then there's value to the moments that make it worth it for right now, but it will make it harder for those folks to commit if it is just like a thing that is cool for the moment. So the restaurants, the breweries, the bars, this is the most aggressive, most difficult industry to impact. And so making them feel like this is something that is A, important now, and B, important long-term will be difficult. If that occurs and they feel like this thing has legs, how do you keep them involved long enough so that it's not just, a discount here, a discount there, our company is good until everyone else figures out that it's not something that everyone else uses?
I think that's a great question, right? How do we think past now? How do we build a plan for the future past this crisis? Because it will be over sooner or later. And whatever we build now, either we spin it down or we find a way to make it sustainable. And I don't have all the answers, right? We don't have all the answers. This was last weekend. We spent 54 hours on it. So I'm
not suggesting that you do. I'm just trying to the smartest people look for others who are going to shoot holes into the idea because that just makes it stronger.
Absolutely, right? And in a safe place to do it, like Startup Weekend, like 1 Million Cups, like Startup Bus, all of these communities shoot holes in it. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm here to help, right? Absolutely. And that's why I love communities like that. And a couple of thoughts. So gamification of something isn't contingent on whether the world is burning, right? I contributed to Google Maps and I contributed to Facebook for their fact checking when there was no pandemic. I uploaded pictures probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of pictures to Google Maps over the years, right? And it was when I had Google Maps on my phone and it said, hey, do you want to do this? And sometimes I clicked on it and I was like, I'm like a level 3 and I can answer a few questions, do a couple of reviews, and I'll hit the next level. It sounds silly. It sounds silly, like gamifying things. When you say the theory, it sounds really silly, but like in practice, it's super powerful. It's like it'll draw people in to do things that they normally wouldn't do, like sit there for 3 hours fact checking random restaurants that I've been to on Facebook. And so that aspect of it, building that correctly and learning best practices from companies that have done it best, Yelp, Google, Facebook, Snapchat, even with your Snap score and your streaks. You got to get on Snapchat every day to keep your streaks up. Your 300 streaks, you don't want it gone. And you're there once a day, front of mind. So,
gamification works across more than just the food and beverage industry. That is for sure.
Yeah, let me hit you with something else. Let's think about Startup Weekend, right? We're all asking our participants to get out of the building, to go and do customer discovery, to do things that will push them past their comfort zones and into a new learning opportunity. That's what we're here to do as mentors, as organizers, as facilitators, is to help people grow. And people are always like, I don't want to do it. I want to be safe. I want to be reserved. Even though we tell them it's a safe space to do it, it's people are here to help you and support you. Even if you fall, we've got your back. So one way to push them to do it is to gamify a Startup Weekend. You get points for doing customer discovery. You get points for going out of the building when it's okay outside, and going to the local farmers market and talking to people about your idea. You log it, you track it. You can use that to incentivize behavior, good behavior, right? You get points for doing pitch practice, for getting your slide deck in for early review. You get points for meeting with mentors. You get points for getting feedback. You incentivize as a team. You think about, hey, what experience would help them get the most benefit out of this? Maybe they're new, maybe they're veteran. You apply something like this to that, and you gamify and you modify and you inspire behavior that will help them, and use this as a tool for positive good.
I love the idea of building a business like it's a Fitbit.
Like Strava, right? Like
hey, look at this progress that I've made. Look at this progress that I've made.
Look at that, right?
Especially in a Startup Weekend environment where like time is not easy to come by. You have to keep making moves with milestones in place.
Yeah, I absolutely, right. And as organizers and facilitators, we've seen this play out many, many times. And as mentors, you've seen teams make the same mistakes over and over again. How can we gently nudge them in the positive direction? How do we say, hey, it's most important if you get out of the building and do 100 interviews versus sitting here and making your design perfect?
That's pretty crazy what you just did, Benovator. This with your watch.
Yeah.
I can completely see an app on my watch that I'm able to be tracked through the weekend and log my activities through the weekend, so I can get the update. And it is like a time tracker. It's tracking my startup time.
Hey, you got 10 points for quitting when it was right and moving into the next direction, knowing that was never going to work, but you're going in the next direction. Like there's endless gamification when it comes to
test fast,
let alone business development, eh?
The idea though of that is there's something that's interesting.
G-Money, you're right. Right.
There's something there.
I'll just take like 5 to 7% on all activity on any sort of activity watch or device.
He's claiming it right now. Smart man. But
hey.
I don't agree. For the official record, I don't agree to that.
I will let me call up my attorney, get him on the stream, and we will moderate this discussion right now. Let's do it. Hey, but in all honesty, right? Startup Weekend could use more metric tracking. It could use more progress tracking.
It would be great to
don't
have
know
something
where our participants are at any stage until it's like pitch in the beginning, presentation at the end. We don't know where they are unless we check in with them individually, manually during the weekend. And how do we kind of automate something and we incentivize them to tell us instead of us having to pull teeth and get it out.
I mean, the very idea of all of the moving parts for one. I mean, you have a game with you, Richard, and so do I. That's the startup game.
Yeah.
And I've seen lots of different versions of it. So not only what are the entities, what are the systems and processes by which those things happen? You know, a pivot is cool when it's helpful.
Yep.
But if you pivot away from a good idea, that wasn't helpful. That was a bad move. So it would be fun just to go through all the things, maybe, and so I'm thinking through it out loud, right? The whole idea is not entrepreneurship. I'm guessing lots of us enjoy it because of this idea that it's not a roadmap. You can't just map it out and say you go down here, the end is success. So
really? Really? Hey, send me that roadmap, bro.
In order to
CC me, will you?
In order to gamify it, there's got to be some metrics around it, right? And then the question becomes, what are those metrics and how do they interact? Mm-hmm. That would be very fun.
Right? And there's so many testing grounds for this, right? There's so many startup weekends. Test and deploy. You take the same process for this and you pivot, iterate. First one might be a failure, fine, right? Like they didn't have it before. It's a new test. Sure, it's running a startup weekend in a startup weekend.
Yeah,
we're running this as a startup weekend project, whatever. And I think, maybe it's not saying it's 8 a.m. Saturday, you should be doing this and definitely doing this. No, it's saying, are you thinking about iterating, tweaking, pivoting? What's your evidence? Tell me your evidence for doing that. And that helps guide participants too. I don't really have evidence for pivoting away from this. Maybe I should go gather some.
It's easier for a startup weekend type of environment too, because it's such a shortened time that there are fewer things that you need to consider. Like if you're going into a business development effort that is long-term, there are more things to consider. If you are working within 54 hours, I feel like it would be easier to come by when it comes to, hey, have you done this? If not, you should pivot to that. It might be easier to provide like general direction for folks who are working in a smaller constraint of time.
I agree. Any constraint of time then allows for that variable to not be there. Right, removing some sort of variable, just like all the social networks, either the length of time of the video or how often you can view the video or stuff. That constraining of the variables helps us then define the output. I always liked that.
It would be so interesting to me. Like I love startup weekends so much because building now on the timeline of now is like what most people struggle with. So building something with others and the connection that happens is beautiful to me. But I also worry about like the sustainability, the longevity, like the true passion that comes with the connections that happen during these times. And if there was a way to not just encourage, but also like track and pursue the relationships that become real. I feel like Startup Weekend all of a sudden becomes just a moment of connectivity that allows you to build something that matters with people that actually understand what you're trying to do and care. And now it doesn't matter where you live, where you're at. And the silver lining of this virtual environment is realized. Sorry, passionate.com.
Yes.
Sometimes it just feels so like easy and like such an opportunity.
Yeah, if we absolutely
If I wanted to share my screen right now,
go for it. Let's take a
do
look.
you want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Because I definitely am building a bingo board.
Oh man, he is
Not even kidding.
a bingo board. What are you building it for?
Because I'm gonna send it to my local downtowns, and I know a guy who prints. A buddy of mine prints. Hey Kyle, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow to print stickers for companies. You're welcome.
Yes, you can thank Franklin Alley here in Troy for that idea, and all the Troy restaurants that jumped on board. The Troy bid. Give them a shout out, will you? That is awesome.
Roger that.
Yes.
So I am curious. I jumped on here because I'm friends through 1 million cups, but like, are there people watching right now? It's super late.
Five people watching us right now. Oh, I got 3 comments on screen. Let's take a look.
What's up?
We got a Liverpool fan, huh?
Is that Brian?
Brian, do we know Brian? Maybe not. Hello from...
Hey, Kai.
Hi!
He's the organizer in Alaska.
Alaska, he's a 1MC. Alaska.
Oh, man. He's
Kai
is just salt of the earth kind of guy. He does what he does. He knows what he does, and he knows his lane. And which I always respect someone who knows their lane, because that means they know what they're not good at. I mean, there's few things Kai's not. Nevertheless, he just loves what he does, and he's super passionate. I've really gotten to know him over the weekend, and I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, Kai leads our mentors, and he cat herds all the mentors together, and he also right mentor and judges as well, right? So he is integral to our judging effort here this weekend, and we'll see the evidence of that tomorrow. We're gonna have 3 judges on our stream. Startup Weekend USA final presentation. See the link below. Sunday, which is today, I think for all of us today. Update that to 6:30 p.m. I'm gonna throw this up from Kai. Build the world you want. Any comments?
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to see in the world, and my personal compass and guiding North Star, right? Leave the world a better place than you found it.
With that, I'm gonna hop off, guys. This has been awesome.
What?
Come on.
It's only 2:53 Central Time.
G-Money.
It's only 4 Eastern Time.
G-Money. Come on. It's not 7 yet. We got 3 people watching. You can't let them down. Hey, we got so many people that came from 1 Million Cups to help us put together this startup weekend as well, right? D leads our user experience and what the participants kind of experience, and how we can make it as close to as possible to Startup Weekend in person. So she's been mama bearing us all weekend long, all 3, 4, 5 weeks, however long we've been doing this, putting it together. And who else we got? We got Nathan is going to be one of our MCs. He is Springfield, Missouri.
Well, Nathan was in Springfield, and that's where I met Nathan originally, but I don't think he lives there anymore.
You don't? I asked him earlier today if he's still active with 1 Million Cups, and he said, yeah, Springfield, Missouri. So maybe he's doing it remotely in this world.
All right.
All right. Who else we got? Eric from Albuquerque. Eric from Albuquerque. Hell yeah. G-Money. Who else we got? I saw at least 10 hands in our all hands meeting asking.
Oh yeah.
Million Cups.
I saw that. I don't remember half of them.
Yeah.
You already have more than I remember.
It's such an overlap. G-Money, do you know what 1 Million Cups is?
We have 2 here locally. It's a fun story about 1 Million Cups. I've presented a few times, and we have the central time zone is in Michigan City, Indiana, and I'm over here in South Bend, Indiana. So I presented one morning in South Bend, and I asked to go first, and then I drove an hour to the west and presented that same day, that same morning, in the next one in the Central Time. I presented last over there. So I presented the same business in two of the same day. It was pretty fun.
Oh no, I feel like that's a little salesy.
No, it was fun. It was about community building, so it was just a fun thing to do. I don't always get that opportunity.
What were the communities that you participated
In South Bend and Michigan City.
Michigan City?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Huh. So, and where do you live now?
In South Bend.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Indiana is an interesting state. They have a lot of different communities, and they all seem to be trying to unite larger areas with one group.
We just had a regional cities initiative put out by our Governor Eric Holcomb. So he put state money into the hands of regions, exactly like you're saying, to bring prosperity to those regional areas. And so grant submissions were written, and then awards were handed out if you had enough of the criteria met. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Well,
that's exactly what he's encouraging.
It's good, but there's also a lot of opportunity locally. So, I mean, from a distance, it feels like there's a chance to connect both the local ecosystem, but also what's happening statewide, and using 1MC as like this non-biased like gateway or bridge to the different ecosystems. It's happening throughout the whole country, but specifically in the Midwest. Indiana is highly active, but not as connected from a distance that some of the other states are like tapping into. This is not 1 million cups. I apologize. I get passionate. You know, I'm sorry.
We all do. That's how we do this, right? We all are
We're here, right?
At 3:58 a.m., 2:58 a.m., hanging out, talking about building community and entrepreneurs, and really.
I would be curious, connecting the dots, right? I mean, connecting the dots between companies that evolve out of a startup weekend and present at a 1 million cups, and then go from a 1 million cups and participate with the SBDC.
Yeah.
And then connect into an accelerator like Techstars, and then takes money from XYZ different like the ecosystem building is kind of a competitive business environment until you realize that the collaboration actually raises all ships, and finding who plays a part in the different like steps through success. If all of us play together, there's so much opportunity, and I think that's what people want to do, but sometimes there's just a lack of awareness of where this company that's ready to go here. I don't know who to pass them along to. So it's not troubling. It's exciting. It's exciting, but it's also like challenging. And I apologize if I've gotten passionate all of a sudden, but I just think there's such an opportunity to connect people who care about the same thing, to accelerate those who are doing things that matter. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, my friends. It's just this like the freedom that comes the price of freedom is entrepreneurship. Sorry.
Don't be. Why are you sorry?
I'm so passionate about it that it makes it feel like it's an illusion, right? Or like I'm just a super charismatic guy that believes in your success if you dream it. But it's real if you connect with people who understand the value of it, and things like Startup Weekend, you know, things like the ongoing nature of 1 Million Cups, like, and I get passionate because I've seen it work. I think that's why I'm so confident, is that I've seen this shit work. If you build something that you care about and you connect with others that are doing something that they care about, you can learn about the way that they're building their business, whether it's over a weekend or whether it's the last 5 years. Like, entrepreneurship is a lonely roller coaster, and if you ride it with others, you can do things for yourself, but you can also like activate this energy that comes with things like Startup Weekend, but generally at a base, accelerating others. The give first mentality might be the only thing you need to create something that matters. Sorry.
Don't you ever sorry.
That's my late night thought and my true belief.
Don't you ever be sorry about supporting entrepreneurs and building community and bringing people together, because that's what we are here for. And that's why every single one of the 1,500 plus people involved are doing this and spending their weekend here virtually. Right. Every single other person.
That's why I feel like I have so much hope, like so much enthusiasm and almost envy. If you are someone that is watching this and is building with even 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people that like have an aligned vision towards what you're trying to achieve, you are ahead of the game. You are ahead of the game. Like, even younger entrepreneurs who are building something that might be a little more immature, when they fail, they will be farther ahead than the person in the cubicle jail cell that doesn't know how to move forward because they've never experienced what it means to build something that they care about. Passion leads to persistence, and persistence is the wild card. And I think that's what I always struggle with Startup Weekend, is that it's such a moment of now, and that is so important to get started. But the reality of pushing things beyond just this weekend and into Monday and into 2 months from now and into fucking 5 months from now and 6 and a year from now, the persistence of pushing something forward is truly the wild card for your success. Everyone will tell you that you cannot do this. The market is not ready. The product will never succeed. But if you are willing to push through that, I believe, based off 8 years of 1 Million Cups activity and seeing so many different ideas, so many entrepreneurs, so many companies, so many industries, that persistence is the wild card to success. And so I think Startup Weekend has to be an energy, but it must build something that's further, something that goes beyond just this moment of now. And if you can find a team that is willing to build persistence, then now you have something that could be profitable long term. I'll stop there. Richard, I did not come in here meaning to get passionate, and G Money, I apologize for taking the stage and getting a little weird, but it's late, and that is my heart. Cheers.
Thanks for sharing your heart, man.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you for reaching out, commenting, and sending me a message and coming in here and sharing, because what you said, everyone needs to hear. Entrepreneurship, the cost of freedom is entrepreneurship.
It's not a game. It's not a game. It is not like, oh, I'm going to do this and now all of a sudden I'm set free. Like, this is the hardest thing that you can try. But if you do it, of course it's easy because maybe you get lucky. But the fact is it might not work. Fortunately, you care about it. You care about it enough to be persistent. Persistence in Latin means sacrifice. Like, if you're willing to build something beyond just,
don't cry on us.
You have to be passionate. Mm-hmm. And I know that's very like squishy, but you have to be passionate. Otherwise, what gives you the strength to push forward when it's time to watch TV or go back to XYZ? Like, that's the ultimate fuel, I feel like. Hey, this is positive. I'm drinking out of gold rims. And hey, this is an idea out of reality. Like, we wanted to build a better beer flight like environment. Like, okay, I'm drinking beers. Which ones do I like? I don't know. So we built an electronic beer flight paddle. This thing's dead, but this is a touch screen. Like, ideas to reality. Ideas to reality.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben.
It's late. Your turn, Richard. Take it from
My turn. I went on an hour-long spiel about my experience last weekend. I put out a freaking whole Medium article when I was like dead, like after 54 hours. I really like one thing that experience has taught me, and every other experience has taught me, doing the startup weekends, startup bus, these entrepreneurship. I don't know if there's a good term for it. Like, entrepreneurship hackathon kind of makes it sound like you got to code something and build something like with code. So let's find a good term for that. Hashtag entrepreneurship.
That might be a misconception. Startup weekend, I don't feel like requires technology or like building the next, app.
Right. That's why I don't call it an entrepreneurship hackathon. But what I've realized, no, go ahead, Grant.
No, I was saying that's what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm not calling it that. I refuse to call it that. It's 54. I got to use the long definition, right? You come together with people from all over the place, all different backgrounds, to build something in 54 hours, and you make an impact. Yeah, like, we got to find a short term penguin dolphin, right? Find something that we can assign this feeling and this weekend and competitions, but that's not really a competition. It's about learning. So find something that we can assign this to. But what it's helped me realize is that you really don't have limits. There are no limits. You build for 54 hours straight. You sleep for maybe 1 or 2 if you're lucky. And you hit your brick wall. You think you're done. You've told yourself you're done, but you keep pushing through. You blast right through that wall.
That would be interesting. Like, I feel as though I hope of one person who is building remotely and watching this stream has somehow been impacted. But I wonder if it would be cool to see whatever groups that you have involved with this project and over this weekend to be able to share right now. I know there's a finish coming soon, but is there a way to see what a few people are doing right now?
That's exactly what Richard's been talking about on successive events, making sure that we're getting in front of teams, sharing their stories as it progresses, as it happens, like you're saying, Ben.
Easier said than done, though. Easier said than done.
Hey, are you ready for this? We have pumped out something like 10, 15 videos today interviewing participants from this weekend. We use this exact platform enabled by the power of technology, right? You hit a link, you're on here. And we got a whole team of media people, of reporters, bringing on our participants to ask them about how they are doing this weekend live. So let me see if I can find a link to Facebook to put on screen.
G-Money, you're not going to bed yet. We got more content.
Oh, we got more content.
You're not gone yet. You're not gone. Hold on. Hold.
While we were doing this live, Richard, Jacqueline was doing one at the same time.
Yeah, she told me she was doing two. We had two of those, and we're going to get more tomorrow. It's crunch time, but we're going to catch up and get more tomorrow with the teams after they submit their presentations for judging. And they've basically completed a startup weekend, right? They've submitted their presentation, and they're pretty much done. And we've got a couple hours. We're going to catch up with all of those and get them on here and talk to them. So if you want to catch yesterday, today, we really only got on this platform last night. I hosted a Friday night live party. And really, that was the first time we used the platform outside of anything officially planned. I planned like a whole week for my kickoff. I said, let's go do it. Like, we need to live and lead by example. Less talk, more action. I'm going to, type.
In the chat, I gave you the link to the videos.
You gave me the link to the videos. So I'm actually going to throw that up there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
How many?
11, 12, 13 videos.
Really? 13 videos.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/startup weekend, SW, remote USA. Facebook.com/SW remote USA. And we pumped them out. We got content going to YouTube and Facebook at the same time on this platform. StreamYard is really awesome, is what we're using. And I really pushed for that, I think. I was like, hey, last night I went to Mahir, who I started my company with last week. I pulled him in. I was like, hey, will you mind helping us tell some stories? You lived through it. You want to bring Startup Weekend back to Bangladesh. So if we can help him do that, Mahir, that is amazing. I was like, hey, come be an organizer. Come help us and learn from the best of the best in the world. And we'll help you bring it back to your country. And all the stuff you learned this weekend will be so valuable. So we've been telling stories. Odysseus was our photographer for Startup Bus. He was alongside us documenting our journey, and he lived it with us. He didn't say, I'm going to do my 8 hours to sleep on the bus. He lived it with us. Even though he wasn't on a team, he was very much a part of Startup Bus. So I pull in the most awesome people, and I'm like, hey, you've lived through this. You know what stories to tell. Go ask people. And our PR team, led by Jacqueline, has been doing an amazing job. We got, Ben, I don't know if you heard, 13, 14, 15 videos already from participants in the last 24 hours. Hey, how are you doing? Tell me about your experience right now. What are you building? How do you feel? And that needs to not be lost to history. And so really last night I was like, hey, Mahir and Odysseus, this is how you use the platform. And we were on Discord is what we use. And some guy popped into our tech channel and was like, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm a participant. I'm just hanging out. I'm like, oh, we're just like training and figuring out how to use the platform. He's like, well, I'm the first on the list. And I'm like, hey, here's the link. Get on right now. If you're the first on the list, get on. And we had a hour-long conversation with Steven, one of the participants. And we played the little games. Couple of little games, ran the startup game, did few little segments, did word association. That was our first pilot of the platform. And today in the past 24 hours, we rolled it out, and 15 customer interviews, user experience interviews with our participants. Like, this is so awesome, and we really live what we teach. Move fast, break things, figure it out. More action, less words, right? And that's the power of this. We can do all of that, and back to my point of brick walls, there is no limit. You pass through, and you realize that brick wall was just self-imposed on yourself. You can move mountains, and you can part seas with one hand tied behind your back. And that's the experience I got from last weekend, because I hopped off that call at 8:30. We closed out Startup Weekend for that whole experience. I was sleep deprived as hell. And Grant, I hopped on our all hands, and I got tapped by Mr. Red Hype, the Red Hype, Michael, Ryan Norton, San Diego lead organizer, 1 million cups, to run the live stream team. What are you padding?
That guy, he is the smartest guy that's not been tapped in to like accelerating what we can do from a tech perspective with 1 million cups.
Let's fix that.
Oh, he is smart, passionate, and just not underutilized.
Yeah. Let us fix that, right? So we need to utilize and help bring together the best of the best in the world to make a change, to drive progress forward. And really, Michael's like, hey, I know you have the experience. You've done it for 1 million cups. I know you've done it for like hockey broadcasts in the past. Like, do you want to lead the live stream team, be the technical, I don't even know what they call it. Titles don't mean anything to me, right? But I was asked to step into this role and manage and own the public experience, how the public sees us and what we're doing, how we tell our story, and how we present ourselves to the world. We know we're doing good. We know we're doing amazing things connecting these people. But how do we spread the word and bring people into our family? How do we ask the public to come and join us? Because on Sunday, there are people that are watching that are not us, and we want them to be us. We want them to step into a startup weekend and join a virtual one or come to one in person and give it a shot. There may not be entrepreneurs, but we want them to join our world. And I don't take that role lightly.
G Money. Have you ever read the book Tribes?
I have not read the book Tribes.
Oh, Richard, how about you?
I have not.
Ah, good. This is a book, an audio
Tell us about Tribes.
from Seth Godin. Seth Godin's my favorite thinker, so I'm a bias. But I will buy the book and send it your way if it's something that doesn't make sense in your financial situation. Like, I want to deliver this thing to your doorstep.
Is that an offer to the world?
Yes. Yeah.
How can they reach you? Because if you really think people need to see this, give me your social media handle.
Come at me, bro.
Let's do it.
Ben Ovader is my handle on Twitter, but the reality of 1MC Midwest, you know that's my heart. This is a reading, a writing about bringing people together who care about, like, presenting platforms and environments that encourage positive change. And it is not it's not a 1 million cups playbook, but it's everything without the tactics. And so that would be something I would be happy to send, of course, G Money and Richard here on the call. But if there's someone that is awake,
we got 5 people watching, guys.
At
live
19 in the morning Central Time,
4:19 in the morning.
Of course,
Eastern.
You should buy it for yourself. It's not about the money. But if money is for some reason a problem, I'd be happy to send this your way, and it'd be a blessing to give you the insight that is like so much, like it's the passion that drives the connected era, and that's what we're in. We're building things that matter because we're connected. It's just so simple. It's so simple, my friends. Build something that you care about, and it will lead to persistence, which gives you a chance to make it successful. I know I make it sound simple, but it can be pretty simple.
Yeah. Hit Ben up. You know where to find them. So
Love
that's
it.
amazing. Thank you guys so much for everything, for the experiences, for the stories, for the learnings. It's a blast, a privilege and an honor to hang out with you guys, to organize this startup weekend with over 900 participants, with the best of the best in the world, to be part of 1 Million Cups. One MC Nation, come on, Ben, right? To be part of you guys. I'm so happy. This fills me up.
We're all a part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem, right? And I think that's an area that everyone needs to improve on, is understanding what our competitive environment actually means and its opportunity. And so whether that's 1 Million Cups connecting to Startup Weekend, once you build something, you know that the next step is presenting at 1 Million Cups to determine what the community actually thinks about your idea. And then you take it to the local accelerator.
Yeah.
You take it to the BNI. You take it to the Chamber of Commerce. You take it to the SBDC. You take it to the different entrepreneurial ecosystem players. If you understand the landscape that you're working within, it's not a competitive, I need to make sure that this person cares. It's more about an opportunity to connect with so many others that will move you to the next level. So
yeah. Tribes, Darcy Hall.
I really think that the Startup Weekend thing is valuable, but can be almost a miss if you treat it like a weekend.
Yes.
If this can be something that you treat like something that is going to move you forward into the next week, into the next ever, now all of a sudden you're building something passionate with someone else, a team who might also be passionate. That shit's dangerous.
Startup Weekend is not just a weekend. It's a family. It's connecting. It's everything. It's your tribe. G-Money, you want to sign us off?
I'm encouraged that I'm continually finding more and more people who want to make a positive impact on the world. Dean came in during First Robotics closing ceremony, said, I don't want anyone to come up to me and tell me how they're going to change the world. And I want you to replace change with help. I just want you to help the world. So I'm thankful to be a part of a community that's trying to help the world make it a better place.
Any last words, Ben?
Wow, I've shared all my words.
All of them, you're let out dry. All right.
But I do want, I know that it's late, but I feel like we have no time constraints based off that it's late.
hey, I got to run a live stream in about 12 hours.
All right. So we'll close things down quick. But G-Money, I do want to, because I've never met you, I am curious about your entrepreneurial experiences, where you live, some simple things that might help perhaps someone that's watching relate to what you have done in your world.
Yeah, let's keep it quick and we can blast out another one tomorrow and the one tomorrow.
Yeah,
after.
man.
We can do more of these, right? We can have these conversations. G-Money.
Let's take that onto a new one, or take that offline to start with and then start a new one. That'd be a fun conversation to get some people on and walk everyone through each person's journey.
Yes.
Let's make that one the next one.
Shall we pin it and come
Love
back
it.
to it? G-Money, Benovator. Let's go.
Love that. Yes.
And
Let's
Startup
go.
Weekend USA final presentations today, Sunday.
Today.
Sunday, April 26th, 6:30 p.m. Show up, stand up, get up. Let's go. We've got live.
7 o'clock is the actual then
Whoa.
kickoff.
Stop telling people 7. 6:30. We've got live music.
We want to be respectful of people's time. 6:30
right.
is the music. 7 o'clock is the final presentations.
You are right. You are right. We are leading in with Intel
sir.
Acefield and Collective Effort, and we've got 7 o'clock with our presentations. MC welcomes everyone. Come and join us. We love you all, and we'll see you soon. I'll roll out here with a video of what Startup Weekend is, and we're wrapped. Have a good night.
Entrepreneurs are my people. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life.
You always got to have ninjas on your socks.
And what you see in an entrepreneur's eyes is an unbelievable drive to create something new where there was nothing. And that is what drives innovation and excitement for entrepreneurs here who are running around at Startup Weekend right now.
This is the biggest Startup Weekend we've ever done. We've got over 300 people here tackling some of the biggest problems.
We're bringing together educators, gamers, healthcare professionals, programmers, designers. We're all here in it just to like slog it out, work for 54 hours, and just build some really cool companies.
We kicked off the weekend on Friday night with some of the most amazing speakers. Steve Case, we had Scott Case, we had Reid Hoffman, we had Neil from Demo. We then broke everybody out into 3 different verticals: healthcare, gaming, and education. In each vertical, we pitched ideas and formed teams to solve different problems.
And move it to your mobile phone.
There'll be 3 winners that emerge from the weekend, and all 3 winners are then going to be invited to come to Demo. And then at Demo, the audience will vote on those 3 and select one that will then have the opportunity to be our last final demonstrator on Wednesday.
Saturday night, we had one of the most mind-blowing parties. Microsoft went way out of the way and had one of the biggest parties we've ever had at Startup Weekend. We had almost 1,000 people. It was just unreal.
One of the things you see in successful startup ecosystems around the country and around the globe is the level of connectedness of the network of people who are in a given place. And so we see at Startup Weekend as a microcosm of that phenomenon, and the more we can do that, the more successful companies we'll create here in America.